From Williams Stadium on the campus of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, this is the Division III VHSL State Football Championships. And what a matchup we have this afternoon. This is a rematch of last year's game between the Brookville Bees and the James Monroe Yellow Jackets. Last year's game, a thriller. Brookville wins it 34-33. These teams have played 3 times in the past. This is the 4th meeting in the state championship game. In 96, it was James Monroe 7, Brookville nothing. In 08, James Monroe 50, Brookville 46. And last year, Brookville with the revenge, 34-33. Hello, everybody. I'm Bruce Bornarth, along with Taylor Jensen. Thank you for joining us on what is a gorgeous afternoon here in Lynchburg, Virginia. The sun is starting to come out. Temperatures are unseasonable for the first weekend in December. What an afternoon we have in store for you today. And Taylor, as we look across these rosters here, we've got some players to keep an eye on and a couple of highlight reels to look at here on both teams.
Yeah, we really do, Bruce. And the key thing that you need to look at here is the analysis of this matchup. The Bees have won 27 straight games coming into this state championship. And one key player here for James Monroe today is number 22, James Scroggins, quarterback, sophomore, 5'10", 185 pounds, starting his 3rd string quarterback this year. But he was pushed into the starting role because of injury. So he's led James Monroe to an 8-1 record as a starter. He's passed for 1,117 yards, 15 touchdowns, rushed for 3 touchdowns also, and 182 yards. So he has been just an absolute blessing in disguise here for James Monroe. Another guy we've got is, you see him on the screen here, number 1, Shamar Ellis. I mean, goodness, Bruce, 6'2", 160 pounds, athletic, can get off his feet. 36 catches this year for 720 yards, 6 touchdowns. Obviously, one of Jay Scroggins' favorite targets here today, and it's going to be an interesting task for Brookville to try to shut this guy down. He is, without a doubt, one of their more athletic guys for the Yellow Jackets. And then go on over to the Brookville Bees, and they, of course, are trying to repeat as state champions and accomplish really something they haven't been able to do, which is even up the series with James Monroe in the state championship game. They've been here, this is their 2nd straight year here, rematch of last year, like you said, and we saw it really go down to the wire, and they've got some really great players on that roster. And last year they graduated some talent, and they were able to send them to some college programs. I know they have one guy, I'm not familiar with the name, he went to Alabama, but here's another guy, number 5, Kendall Beecraft. And he's their quarterback, and he's 6 foot, 170 pounds, 3rd year as a starter, and he's got a 45-4 record. So he's not accustomed to losing. Don't get used to it. And he is a starter approaching 10,000 career passing yards. This year he's got 2,895 passing yards. And Bruce, he's got 33 touchdowns. This guy knows how to play football. He's the Johnny Football of Brookville High School. The next guy you've got is number 8, Hilson Atkins. He's their running back. Not very tall. He's only 5'5", 150 pounds, but he's got 13 rushing touchdowns, 9 receiving touchdowns. He's got 773 receiving yards, 864 rushing yards. So this is a guy that is just dynamic. He is a all-around kind of guy in that backfield that can really make a lot of plays for you, whether it's through the air, on the ground, kind of a do-it-all type of guy in the backfield for the Bees. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize him today.
Taylor, we talked about this being a rematch from last year. These two teams, this is the 4th time they've met in the state championship game. History of both of these teams goes way back. James Monroe has played in 6 championship games, winning 4 times. Brookville's played in 5 championship games, winning twice. So 2 teams that are not unaccustomed to being on center stage in the biggest game of the season.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. James Monroe is going to be playing with a chip on their shoulder today, Bruce. I mean, they've got guys who tasted it last year. They were up 33-31 with a few seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Brookville, I mean, we saw their kicker again out there today putting in 52 yards in warm-ups. He hit a huge field goal with the time expiring to win the game. So James Monroe is going to try and put Brookville away to where they don't even have an opportunity to use their legs.
You know, you look at that game from last year that you talked about. It looked like in the beginning that Brookville was going to run away with it. It was 17-0 after the first quarter in favor of Brookville. James Monroe comes storming back in that second quarter to score 20 points. It was 24-20 at the half. 33-31 James Monroe after 3. And like you said, the final 34-33 Brookville on that game-winning field goal. James Monroe did have the ball at the end of the game driving, but ran out of time. You wonder, last year's game, had they kept on playing, they might still be tied.
And I tell you what, this Yellow Jackets team, I mean, we talk about how they graduated a lot of talent this year. They've got a guy who really, that quarterback, Brookville's never seen this guy. They don't know what to expect from him. All they see is numbers, so I'm sure they've seen film, but for the most part, this is a guy that is unfamiliar with this Brookville defense, so it'll be interesting to see if James Monroe has a few tricks up their sleeve with this guy, Jace Groggins, who started out as a third stringer at the beginning of the year because of injuries, gets bumped up, and now he's in the spotlight in the state championship, and he's got a rare opportunity to really catch Brookville off guard.
Captains were on the field. James Monroe won the toss. They deferred their option to the second half. With that, we'll take a very short break here. When we come back, kickoff is next on VHL. I can't even talk. I am so excited. VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen, welcome back. Williams Stadium, Liberty University, about set to begin the Division III VHSL State Football Championship game. Taylor, Brookville, local team, not 5 minutes from this stadium, literally walking distance to this stadium. James Monroe from Fredericksburg, though not unaccustomed to being here in this stadium. They played here before.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Brookville, definitely, I mean, they're the home team on the scoreboard. They're also got the home field advantage, like you said, 5 minutes away.
State championship game underway with a touchback. So Brookville will begin the game. 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line, headed left to right in front of us. Brookville, maroon and gold, maroon helmets, maroon jerseys, gold pants. James Monroe, black and orange, black helmets, orange pants, white jerseys trimmed in black and orange numbers.
And Bruce, I'll tell you, Brookville is really going to come out here guns blazing. I mean, they've got a no-huddle, very fast spread offensive attack. They're going to look to use that and give too many options for James Monroe to cover.
Kendall Beecraft is the quarterback. He starts in the pistol formation, trips right. Now motion from the right. 2 receivers either side. Swing pass. Intended left side. Incomplete for Hilson Atkins, looking to get the ball into their playmakers' hands on the first play.
Boy, it's probably a good thing that sailed right through his hands because those James Monroe defenders were on top of it. Would have been a loss had he caught the ball.
Brookville, no huddle offense, spread mostly out of the shotgun. We'll see all afternoon. Beecraft was a quarterback last year on this state championship team. Handoff running back, straight ahead. First carry of the game. Give him 2-3 yards on the carry. That's Anthony Callaway.
Anthony Callaway, pretty tall for a running back, 5'8", but he's not very big, only 150, but he's very shifty and very athletic, light on his feet, and can make quick cuts.
Only a yard on second down, 3rd and 9. Opening drive, state championship game. Beecraft out of the shotgun, looks at a Four-man defensive front. Now they shift out of it. Trips right, one receiver left. Beecraft on play action. He's going to tuck it up. Scrambles right. Lets it fly. Has it complete across the 35 to the 37-yard line. First down yardage to Benjamin Hogg. Hogg, 150-pound, 5'11 junior.
Boy, Benjamin Hogg saw the play broken down, comes back to the ball, found himself wide open for the reception, and managed to fight for some yards after the catch, too. He came out hyped and ready to play. Took about 3 Yellow Jackets to bring him down.
How about the job Beecraft did to step up in the pocket and avoid the rush? This time he goes under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff left side. Hilson Atkins. Atkins up near the 45-yard line, just a little shy. Pickup of 4 on first down.
Atkins, another senior on this Bees football team. Very senior-laden team, has a lot of experience.
2nd and 6 now. 10:30 left to go first quarter. No score. Opening drive, state championship game, Division III. Division IV game to follow this afternoon. Motion now from the right. Handoff Callaway. Across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. 4th and 2 left. Check that 3rd and 2. Getting ahead of myself. Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen. Glad you could be with us on VHSLnetwork.com, carrying all the games throughout this championship Saturday.
And boy, I'll tell you, Brookville's got their hands full with the tight end position.
Beecraft, handoff, Atkins. Atkins may be stopped a little short. It looks to me, Taylor, like he's about 3/4 of a yard short. He's just across midfield. Needed to get to the 49.
Bruce, I see this defensive front from James Monroe. I mean, you look at their defensive end, number 40, Roy Robinson. He's 6'3", 235, a senior. I mean, they are stout up front, so Brookville's got to do a great job to open up holes for the running backs if they want to be able to keep the ball on the ground.
4th and short. Beecraft under center now. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff straight ahead. Fullback's got the first down into Monroe territory at the 46-yard line.
Give credit there to Jeffrey Heston, number 62 on the offensive line. Really fired off that ball hard, opened up a huge gap.
Phillip Watts, the ball carrier, moves the chains once again for Brookville on their opening drive, now in Yellow Jacket territory. Beecraft back to the shotgun, 3 backs in the backfield. Now they shift out of that. 1 back left, 2 wides left, tight end left. Slot right. Now motion Atkins from the right. Inside reverse. Jamal Payne. Read and stuffed out nicely by James Monroe all the way back at the 50-yard line.
And boy, number 21, Tony Scott, he's a captain. 5'10", 198 senior. You see him coming here on the replay and just absolutely eat up that play and throw him about 4 yards back. Goodness. That's great containment by the Yellow Jackets.
A lot of motion and a couple of fakes in the play, but it didn't fake out Tony Scott. I thought he was a movie maker. Then Tony Scott? Oh, it's Ridley Scott. Play action. Beecraft's going to throw. He's under pressure. A lot of running room in front if he wants it. He'll step back and throw. Has it complete inside the 30-yard line to Jamal Payne.
Jamal Payne making up for getting eaten alive in the backfield on the last play. Comes up with a huge reception for the first down, and Brookville is marching right down the field here on the opening possession.
Just like they began the game last year. Beecraft out of the gun. Monroe still in that 4-man set. Inside handoff, Payne again. Blockers in front. That's Callaway. Payne turns a corner. Penalty flag down. Payne out of bounds at the 11.
And it looks like it might be coming back. Might have a holding call here on Brookville. Payne got to the edge, but it may have been a result of the hold.
Jamar Ellis knocked him out of bounds. Nice block by Callaway in front. It is a hold against Brookville. So what would have been first down at the 13. This is 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it's not necessarily from the line of scrimmage. They'll mark it off from the 26.
And boy, those are momentum killers. Opening drive, marching right down the field. A nice little play outside the hash marks, and then backing it up 10 more yards.
It's close to a 20-yard penalty, actually, because the play was ended about 20 yards in front. It's still first down. Call it now 1st and 18. Beecraft's going to throw again. A lot of time this time. Slant intended for Benjamin Hogg, incomplete. Coverage again by Shamar Ellis.
Got right through his hands. The number 8 for James Monroe, Daryl Dyson, really laid his body out there trying to come up with the pick. Almost had it, but
no score. 8:13 left to go, first quarter.
Brookville's got a nice little chunk of yardage they got to make up for here.
From the 37 now. Beecraft's going to throw again. Pump fake. Lob. Back corner of the end zone. Nearly caught, nearly blocked, and then nearly intercepted. Nice play all the way around, intended for Benjamin Hogg. Good coverage by the secondary from the Yellow Jackets.
That's twice now that Yellow Jacket defenders have nearly come up with interceptions, back-to-back plays. That time it was Marcus Finney. It really went right through his hands as well.
Finney almost making the interception on the dive after the deflection. It's 3rd and 18. Still a pretty ball, though, from Kendall Beecraft. He works out of the gun, sends trips right. One receiver left, one back. Beecraft, slant, cross the middle. Incomplete, intended once again for Hilson Atkins. It's 4th and 18.
Beecraft threw that ball just a little behind Atkins there. Unable to come up with the grab. And really, had he completed that pass, they'd be in field goal range, Bruce. I mean, we saw their kickers warming up earlier, and that's well within their range.
Alan Gutierrez is who he's talking about. He's also the punter. He's set to punt from near midfield. Shamar Ellis deep for the Jackets, standing near far side his 10-yard line. No pressure. Gutierrez headed for the corner. Hits it to 18 and rolls out of bounds somewhere between the 18 and the 13. Referee marks it at the 14. 13, let's call it. 1st and 10. First look now at the James Monroe Yellow Jacket offense.
And I'm really interested to see Jay Scroggins for James Monroe, that third-string quarterback. That's almost a Rudy-like scenario for him coming up from third string, now starting in a state championship.
We saw that 2 years ago with Trace McSorley of Briarwoods. We'll see him again this afternoon. A lot of action left before that happens in this one. Scroggins sends trips to the left. Inside handoff to the tailback across the 15, out near the 16-yard line.
That was number 40 there for Brookville. Marcus Goodman on the tackle. And great job there blocking up front by the Yellow Jackets, as you see on the replay. Opened up a nice hole, but those Brookville linebackers did a great job staying at home in their assignments.
First carry of the game goes to Adrian Boone. Scroggins in the shotgun. Boone to his right. Balance spread. Two receivers either side. Now motion from the right. Jet sweep. Inside handoff. Daryl Dyson. Dyson to the 18. Pickup of a couple. 3rd and looks like about 5.
I like what I see out of Brookville's defensive line to start the game. They're really doing a good job staying at home. You see right there on the replay again, everybody's keeping everything contained. Forced him to cut up field into about 3B defenders.
Scroggins, 5'10", 185-pound sophomore quarterback. He sends two receivers right, tight end right. Scroggins, they're going to run it. Inside handoff, straight ahead. Adrian Boone again. He's got the first down at the 25-yard line. It's kind of a gutsy call with 3rd and 6 to go. You run the gut.
Adrian Boone, though, he's got the legs for it. He's a quick guy. You see him blowing right through the hole here on the replay, and no one is really able to catch up with him. Had he not been tripped, I mean, he could have got easily another 5-6 yards out of it.
Big hole up the middle. 1st and 10 now, Jackets from the 25. Scroggins changing up at the line. He's working out of the shotgun. Boone to his right. Slant, across the middle. Complete. Daryl Dyson, first down and more at the 42-yard line.
Boy, that was a great quick screen pass there. Right over the middle. And that's something that James Monroe is going to be really good at because they have a lot of speed at the receiver position. You see a lot of guys chasing from Brookville. Middle of the field was wide open.
No score, under 6 minutes to go, first quarter. First possession for James Monroe at their 41-yard line. Pitch, sweeping right. Boone again. Boone to the corner and to the 45-yard line.
Jamal Payne from Brookville coming up and laying the wood to Boone. That was a nice little hit there.
Jamal Payne brings the pain.
And we see here he cuts it to the outside of the hash marks, and boy, there he is, Jamal Payne. Great tackle there, too. I mean, textbook. Kept his head up, got below the shoulders.
2nd and 5 now from the 46. Trips left. Single safety deep. Payne again. This time nowhere to go. Line of scrimmage and no more.
Darius McMillan shedding the block right up front and just eating up that backfield from James Monroe. You see the replay here. Look at that. They didn't even get a chance at blocking him. He's so quick off the line.
3rd and 5. It was Adrian Boone last situation like this on 3rd and 5. Went up the middle for a first down. Boone flanks to the left now of Scroggins. Scroggins out of the gun. Rolling left, looking to throw. This one's picked at midfield. Brookville the other way. Anthony Callaway with the interception.
Anthony Callaway read that the whole time and just stepped right in front of the football. You see the replay here. Scroggins rolling to the outside, trying to find an open man, and Callaway just steps right into it.
Fast-moving first quarter, 4:18 left to go. No score. This game's been played between the 20s. Actually, between the 30s. Brookville back on offense at the James Monroe 46-yard line. Beecraft out of the shotgun. Motion right. Inside handoff, Jamal Payne. Payne cuts inside the blockers to the 40.
Jamal Payne's the guy we're going to be calling a lot here today. Plays on both sides of the ball. Made some great defensive plays. Came up with some big hits. You see him on the jet sweep here. And he's got some speed. He gets outside of those tackles, and you end up chasing. He could break a big one for the Brookville Bees today.
Anthony Callaway now in the backfield in the pistol formation. Callaway takes the handoff, coming right. Outside the numbers, turns the corners. He's got some room. Knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Stop made by Darrell Dyson. That might have been 6 if Dyson doesn't make the stop.
A great job having a good pursuit angle by Dyson to catch up to Callaway right here on the replay. Readjusts. And you're right, Callaway could have broke that one away. And he's another playmaker. Gets the pick, and we've got a flag here now on the sideline.
Going against Brookville.
Penalty is on Brookville.
Not sure what it was.
I believe it was blocking the back. That's what we're being told. So that'll set the line of scrimmage now back at the 45, 44-yard line. Make it 2nd and 8 from there. Quick screen, Payne, right side. Shakes a tackle at the 45. Hanging on to his jersey for dear life for James Monroe to make the stop, Eric Nelson.
And number 8, Hilson Atkins there on the reception. We see him catch the quick screen pass here, and look at this. Readjusting, making guys miss, keeps his feet moving. There's no quitting Hilson Atkins.
3rd and short.
Trying to make up for the penalty by Brookville, and they're awful close to the first down now.
3rd and a yard. Beecraft out of the gun. Handoff Callaway, shifts directions, has a first down. Callaway's down at the 32-yard line. Huge hole left side.
Callaway, just one of many playmakers on this team. You see him change directions about 3 times in that one play. Very shifty, making guys miss. And had he not gotten tripped up there, he could have squeaked out another 6-7 yards.
1st and 10 now for the Bees on the march in Monroe territory. Beautiful afternoon here at Liberty. Good crowd, both sides. Sweep, right side. Here comes Atkins, inside the 20, inside the 15, all the way down to the 11-yard line. Hilson Atkins.
And boy, Hilson Atkins is six kinds of excited here. Look at him get outside the tackles, running all the way down the sideline, carrying two defenders with him. And you see him get up here, all kinds of hyped up.
Say he was out back at the 13, 14-yard line. 1st and 10 there. Brookville knocking on the door, looking for the game's first score. Beecraft sends trips left. One slot right. 4-man front from Brookville. Inside handoff left once again, Jamal Payne. And once again, it's stuffed out in the backfield. And there's another penalty flag down on the far side. Flag down on our side of the field as well. That little jet sweep just didn't work. Put it back in the playbook.
Yeah, that jet sweep to the far side of the field has been eaten up just about every time. It's a good job, a testament really to the containment from James Monroe's defensive line.
Illegal procedure is the call against Brookville.
Replay 1st down.
James Monroe's going to decline it.
Because of the loss on the play of 3, they would have only netted 2 more yards and they'd have given the down back.
Correction, that penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So it's 2nd and 13 now. It's just a matter of math. 2 yards isn't worth the down, I don't think. I agree with the call. Beecraft, handoff again. This time up the middle is Jamal Payne. Back to the 15. Good stop by the right side of the James Monroe defensive front.
Well, this is back-to-back possessions for Brookville where we've seen them get costly penalties when they get into the red zone. Hopefully it's not going to remove another opportunity for a touchdown.
Difference is Brookville's in field goal range. 3rd and 12, about to go under a minute, first quarter. Penalty flag, slant, in and out of the hands of the receiver at the 3-yard line. Pass was intended for Benjamin Hogg once again. That was triple coverage.
Yeah, this James Monroe secondary is doing a great job of taking away looks and making Beecraft try to thread a needle on these balls that he's throwing. We got another penalty. Looks like it's going to be declined in 4th down for Brookville.
Illegal shift is the call. James Monroe, I don't think, has watched much Gutierrez tape. I think maybe I'd have taken that penalty. Although it's only a 5-yard penalty. Still would have been in Gutierrez's range and would have given Brookville another shot on 3rd down.
For Brookville, number 10, Alan Gutierrez.
This will be a 32-yard chip shot attempt for Gutierrez. His holder is Neil Reynolds. Gutierrez, just a junior. Right-footed soccer-style kicker, kicking end zone right. 32-yard attempt, just left of midfield. It's up. It's high. It's end over end. Missed it right. Wide right. So with 1:07 left to go first quarter, we're still scoreless.
It had the distance and the height on it, but didn't put it through the uprights.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's going to be
Scroggins back on offense. He'll keep it across the 20 to the 23-yard line. It was 1st and 10 from the 20. Under a minute to go first quarter. Still no score.
And it's a good thing Scroggins kept that ball because Quentin Jordan from Brookville, the 6'3", 200-pound defensive lineman, was ready and waiting for him to hand that football off.
2nd and 7 now. Adrian Boone, the tailback. Scroggins, the quarterback. Handoff, Boone. Boone, a lot of room up the middle across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Hole opened up again in the middle for the Yellow Jackets.
The Yellow Jackets are really doing a great job of creating holes here for Boone. You see that here, and he forces his way through that hole. And Brookville not able to plug it up. And first down, move the chains for the Yellow Jackets.
Boone, not huge, 5'10", 170 pounds. But quick. He's got that explosive burst. When he hits the hole, he gets through the hole. There's no dilly-dally in the hole. 1st and 10, 7 seconds left to go. Monroe gets the play off. Scroggins keeps it. Back to the line of scrimmage, forward progress, maybe a yard or two on the play. We'll find out after this. 1 down, 3 to go. No score at the end of 1. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Buy a DVD of this or any of the Virginia High School League championships at VHSLnetwork.com.
Today's championship game is being streamed live online at VHSLnetwork.com. You can watch a complete replay of this contest on demand. Visit VHSLnetwork.com for more exciting coverage of Virginia High School League championship events all throughout the course of the year. We begin the second quarter with James Monroe looking at 2nd and 9 from their own 32-yard line. Jay Scroggins, the quarterback, he works in the shotgun on play action. Scroggins sacked back at the 28-yard line.
And that's Derek Fox, number 2, the 6', 215-pound defensive end or defensive back from Brookville.
The loss of 8 on the play.
Scroggins didn't have a chance.
Loss of 8 on the play. 3rd and 17 now. James Monroe going backwards. Taylor scoreless at the end of first quarter with 17 points on the board last year.
This is the complete opposite of what we saw last year. Game played between the 30s a lot and not a whole lot of scoring. Last year they just couldn't stop putting points on the board.
Jay Scroggins in the shotgun on 3rd and 17 now. Brookville shows blitz. Now they come out of it. Pass intended downfield for Jamal Bevels. Incomplete. Bevels had a hand on it.
You know, there's probably a good thing he didn't catch that ball because he had 2 Brookville defenders ready to lay the wood to him.
4th down.
4th and long for James Monroe. Here comes the punt team. Back to receive for Brookville. Benjamin Hogg. Also deep, Anthony Calloway standing at the 40. No pressure. Punter gets bumped a little bit. Hogg at the 45, at the 50, down at the 46-yard line. First down in Yellow Jacket territory for the Bees. Shamar Ellis, the punter for James Monroe, got bumped into, but no flag.
That's a great return there by Hogg. And if you really look at the battle of field position so far, Bruce, you got to be in favor of Brookville. They've had pretty favorable field position all day. You see the replay here of Benjamin Hogg's return. Getting outside the hash marks, breaking 1 tackle. Takes 3 Yellow Jackets to bring him down, and obviously everybody got a little tangled up there at the end.
Kendall Beecraft out of the shotgun now. 3-man front on the defense. Beecraft under pressure, steps out of it. Oh, and then he gets sandwiched at the 46-yard line. How you like being a bologna in that sandwich?
Well, the bun was 5'11", 250 pounds of defensive lineman, number 50, Kyle Washington from James Monroe. Goodness gracious.
Marcus Finney, the other half of the sandwich. Loss on the play, 2nd and 18 now. Beecraft's got to adjust his helmet before he calls this play. Hand off Callaway. Callaway to the 49. That's it.
Now Brookville's got a third, and looks like it's about 17 here. And they really have been kind of shooting themselves in the foot on a lot of their possessions, Bruce, with costly penalties, and now we see a sack here from a bobbled snap. Just a lot of miscues.
A lot of penalties so far on Brookville. Beecraft up top. Now he'll tuck it up, head towards the middle. Great coverage downfield. That's a coverage sack. Credit to James Monroe secondary.
Beecraft has nowhere to go with the football, so he's just got to try and make something happen. But that pocket just collapses way too quick, and there's no way for him to get outside and run.
And a loss of 3 will bring up 4th
Here
down.
comes the punt team and Gutierrez. Back to receive for the Yellow Jackets, Shamar Ellis, along with Daryl Dyson.
Shamar Ellis, of course, one of the guys we talked about in the pregame. Very athletic guy. And if he gets into the open field, watch out. He can break big plays here for the Yellow Jackets.
Gutierrez punting from the 35, end over end. Hits it to 15, bounces straight up in the air and down at the 16-yard line. Make it to 15. 1st and 10, James Monroe Yellow Jackets. 8:58 left to go, first half. Still no score.
James Monroe once again pinned deep in their own territory. And for Jay Scroggins, that's a tough task to have to march almost the length of the field against the Brookville Bees. And we've seen them get some positives on offense, but they haven't been able to keep it sustained all the way down the field. Brookville's defense just manages to step up every time around midfield.
From the 15, near hash mark. Jackets headed left to right. Jay Scroggins at the helm. Hand off Adrian Boone again. Boone. Tough running out to the 18. A lot of bodies in the middle of that field.
And Boone is one of the guys on this James Monroe football team that's just known as a bruiser. I mean, he feeds off of contact. When he's getting hit and running the football, when guys hit him, it just fuels the beast.
Tackle led there by McMillan. Darius McMillan, the anchor of that defensive front. At left tackle. Scroggins from the gun, 2nd and 6. Keep it on the option again. Nice hole left side across the 25, 27. Ball's on the ground, picked up after the fumble. The other way across midfield to the 41-yard line. Heads up play. Late penalty flag comes in now. Heads up play by Brian Johnson.
Byron Johnson, that was almost reminiscent of what we saw on Monday Night Football between the Redskins and the Giants. Scroggins taking off. Ball comes loose and right into the hands of Johnson. He just takes off. But it's coming back, it looks like. They're going to say he was down, I believe.
They're either calling down by contact or you can't advance it. I don't see why you can't advance it unless it's fumbled forward. I think they're saying his knee was down.
Boy, that's a huge break there for Brookville because, man, that would have set James Monroe up real pretty in Brookville territory.
The referees are going to talk about it a little bit. The ball is spotted back at the 27-yard line where it's 1st and 10. We'll see if the officials leave the football there. And they do. 1st and 10, James Monroe Yellow Jackets from their 27-yard line. Scroggins. Handoff. Sweep left, Daryl Dyson. Dyson gets to the corner, close to a first down, out of bounds on the far side of the field at the 42-yard line.
Well, Daryl Dyson, one of the captains, he's a smaller guy, 5'6", 140, and you see the speed here on the replay. He is definitely their speedster. And great job by Anthony Callaway to catch up to him on the outside because had he not caught up with him, that would have had another 20 yards or 6 points with it.
Jackets on the move at their own 38-yard line. Sweep, right side. Not much running room at all down at the 35-yard line.
Glenn Taylor had nowhere to go. Brookville just managed to stay in front the entire way down the sideline. You see here, trying to find an opening, and all the Brookville players just staying at home, making sure they're playing their assignments, and now you end up with a loss of yardage for James Monroe.
Glenn Taylor's first carry of the game. That's a 2-yard loss. Scroggins brings all the receivers in tight, one wide right. Play action. Looking down the field across the middle. Up, making a leaping catch at the 45-yard line. Darrell Dyson moves the chains. First down, Jackets.
What a ball there by Jay Scroggins. The sophomore with the rocket. Look at that, dropping back. Just puts it on a laser there for Dyson.
Nice job by the James Monroe offensive line. Scroggins had all day. 6:50 left to go, first half. Still scoreless. Both teams have had opportunities.
Well, now that we know Scroggins has a little arm on him, that just diversifies the offensive attack.
Boone ahead. Boone at the 20, at the 10, at the 5, goal line. Touchdown, James Monroe, Yellow Jackets. Adrian Boone goes 42 for the score.
And look at the replay here. Wide open field in front of Boone. And only one man to beat, and he didn't have a prayer catching up to him. Goodness gracious, that was efficiency at its finest for James Monroe.
We've seen Monroe gash the middle. That time it went the distance. Deontay Nelson on for the extra point out of the hold of Scroggins. Up. If there wasn't a net, it'd be on the roof. 6:28 left to go, first quarter. Jackets strike first, 7-0. This is championship action on the VHSLnetwork.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen, back here at Williams Stadium, Liberty University, Division III state championship game. James Monroe out in front first, 7-0 over Brookville.
We saw a nice little drive there from James Monroe. Nice balance of passing and running. The sophomore Jay Scroggins setting up the run with his arm.
David Ditt set to kick off. Anthony Callaway, Benjamin Hogg deep to receive. Ditt, high, driving kick. Callaway has a chance from the 8, up the middle. Couple of blocks. Callaway across the 35, loses his helmet. Did he lose the football as well? Wait for him to unpile. We'll see what the referee says. Here comes another penalty flag.
Guy's getting a little chippy after the play. Intensity is fine. Got to keep it under control. Looks like Brookville's going to hang on to the football, but he didn't hang on to his helmet. His head is ringing right now.
Check out this penalty flag. Came in the pile while everybody was diving on the football. You ever play that game when you were a kid?
Which one is that?
Diving on the fumble.
Oh, yeah.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct against Brookville. Again, the Bees shoot themselves in the foot a little bit.
You've got to keep everything in check and under control. Doesn't matter what happens. You've got to be able to have a certain level of control, because the referees are always going to call an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty or a personal foul the second they see it.
From the 37, where the return ended. Now the new line of scrimmage after the penalty is the 22. That's pretty big. You know, Taylor, after last year's 1-point thriller, there's no love lost between these two teams.
No, not at all. I mean, these two teams are very used to seeing each other in the state championship game. And coming into last year, Brookville had lost both times. So now, I mean, they want to be able to prove that last year wasn't a fluke and that they can even up this series. But these two teams are bitter rivals in the postseason.
Beecraft, Callaway, big hole in the middle. Callaway blockers in front across the 30. Anthony Callaway still on his feet across the 35 to the 37. How about you, Anthony Callaway?
Some great running there, shaking tacklers, making guys just shed right off of him. Look at that. That's 3 guys that got hands on him and couldn't bring him down. Great run there.
1st and 10. Brookville looking to answer the Monroe score. Empty backfield now for Beecraft. Inside pitch. Hogg across the 35 to the 38.
James McFadden introduces himself up front. My goodness, what a hit.
Hilson Atkins on the carry. Technically, I guess that's a pass, right?
Wow, James McFadden, 5'10", 240.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now. Handoff Callaway. Callaway left side across the 45. Still on his feet. Breaking tackles down the sideline. At the 30, he may go. Cut back at the 10. At the 2. Towards the end zone. Is he in? Yes! Touchdown, Brookville Bees. The Bees answer.
What a play by Anthony Callaway. My goodness. Looked like he was going down around midfield. We got 1 guy hits him, 2, 3, 4. And all of them got good hits on him, and he keeps the feet moving all the way to the end zone, and he looked like he was changing directions, and then just makes a beeline for the goal line. That is so far the play of the day, Bruce. Chris Berman would be proud.
Gutierrez on for the extra point, looking to tie the score. Snap, hold, kick, on the way. We're tied. 5:17 left to go in the first half. Don't go away. It's starting to heat up right here on VHSLNetwork.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
Come at you.
One shot at this.
Today's championship game is being brought to you in part by the Virginia 529 Savings Plan. You can learn more about the Virginia 529 Savings Plan by visiting them online at virginia529.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/VA529. Wish that was around when my kids are. I knew about that when my kids were going through college. Actually, when they were babies. Yeah, I don't have kids yet. When you get married and start having kids, you get in the 529 plan. Gutierrez out of the back of the end zone. Touchback.
Man, does he have a leg on him or what, Bruce? I mean, the kid's a junior, and we saw him last year doing the same thing as a sophomore.
I think something like 70-80% of his kickoffs end up in touchbacks. Most if it's not a touchback, it's probably by design.
That's unreal.
Here comes Monroe. Quiet first quarter, no score in the first quarter. 2 touchdowns up now in the second quarter. Taylor, you get the feeling that they're both teams are waking up a little bit.
Yeah, we talked a little bit off the air that it was kind of a slow start, and part of that you got to think is because, well, they drove here this morning, it's on the bus, it's kind of early, not used to playing early Saturday afternoon games.
Adrian Boone, on the option, quarterback keep, Jay Scroggins. Scroggins, no gain on the play, should have handed it off, right?
Number 22, Scroggins on the keeper, and no gain on on the carry.
About to go under 5 minutes first half. Beautiful day.
Second down.
I love coming down here. I know you like it. You went to school here. Beautiful facility, beautiful part of the state, beautiful campus. Nothing negative to say about this place at all. People are really nice when you get down here. No gain. 2nd and 10. Scroggins out of the gun. Deuce is right. Motion from the left. Handoff inside. Darrell Dyson again. Dyson looking for the corner. Gets out to the 24.
Well, you can tell both teams here today, they really want to get outside the tackles with their speed. They don't have the beefy, beat-em-up runners with the exception of a couple of James Monroe guys. You see here on the replay, they want to bounce outside, get towards the sideline, and get some open field in front of him because they have a lot of speed that they can utilize from about 3 or 4 different guys.
3rd down and 6 for James Monroe near hash mark. 2 receivers wide side. Here comes a blitz. Play action. Scroggins cross the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Matt Forgin, the tight end.
Kevin Bryant was going head hunting there from his safety position. As soon as that ball was thrown. And Jay Scroggins, I'm impressed with this sophomore's arm. I mean, he can really laser that ball around and put some heat on it to where Brookville's guys are really chasing. He's not really lobbing it up and giving a chance for Brookville defensive backs to make plays.
Hogg and Callaway deep for the punt. Punter Shamar Ellis at the 11. It's about where he punted from last time. Good step, no pressure. Wobbler. Hits it to 50. Picked up by Hogg. Down goes Hogg right away at the 42. Good coverage downfield for James Monroe by Kyle Washington.
Tackled by number 50.
And Hogg tried to pick it up on the run to try to make something happen. And once again, Kyle Washington, I think that's his 3rd or 4th tackle of the game already.
That's one of those plays, if you're the coach on the sideline, you're going, get away, get away, get away. And then if they pick it up and they break one, go, 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 go.
Right. And again, here we see Brookville one more time taking over right around midfield. This seems to be kind of a pattern here. Every time they're taking over possession, it's around midfield. And once they get in the red zone, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Kendall Beecraft is the quarterback. Anthony Callaway's his tailback. Motion, play action, pump fake, going deep down the sideline. He's got a man wide open at the 40. Shaking tackles, headed down the sideline. Jamal Payne out of bounds at the 21. Jamal Payne, was he open or what?
Wide open, no one within 5 or 6 yards of him. Look at Beecraft, little pump fake, slings it out there. Look at that, no one within 4 or 5 yards of him. Makes the first guy miss. Getting it upfield and great hustle there from James Monroe, and Payne just kind of runs out of bounds there. Smart move. And wow, that was a beautifully designed play. Breakdown and coverage.
1st and 10, Brookville from the James Monroe 21. Handoff Callaway coming left. Looking to turn the corners. Got a block. Cuts it outside at the 10. Knocked out of bounds just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal, Brookville Bees.
Well, I think it's safe to say Brookville is awoken from the sluggish start that they had. You see Callaway again getting outside the tackles. That is what this team wants to do, as well as James Monroe. Get outside the tackles, give your running backs an opportunity to make guys miss and make football plays.
2 backs in the backfield now. Hilson Atkins, the deep back. In at the fullback, Phillip Walls. It's Atkins. Atkins tripped up at the 10-yard line. Nice stop, Tony Scott.
And Tony Scott, one of the linebackers, also a captain on this team, showing why he's in a leadership role.
Tripped up by number 21, Tony Scott.
Callaway Hogg checked back in.
This is where Brookville has struggled today, Bruce, is in the red zone. They haven't really been able to get in any kind of rhythm or a flow and come up with pay dirt inside the 20. They've broken off a big play for their touchdown, but nothing inside the 20.
3.5 left to go. To the corner of the end zone. That's 6. Benjamin Hogg, touchdown, and a penalty flag. Is that like in basketball and 1?
Hey, I like the reference there. Well, that is another well-designed play by Brookville. You see on the replay there, I mean, wide open again. That far side of the field is one of B-Craft's favorite areas to throw to now, apparently, because that's twice where he's had guys wide open. Second time results in 6 points.
Now, we've seen B-Craft also with varying different kinds of passes. We've seen the touch pass. We've seen him throw it on a line. We've seen him throw the no-look. Personal foul face mask penalty going against James Monroe. Now, since it happened in the end zone on a score, I'm not sure. We'll find out if this is just declined or if it's assessed on the kickoff here.
Here's Gutierrez again lining up. Just a thunder leg.
Alan Gutierrez looking to tack on his second extra point of the afternoon. Kicking to the left. Almost blocked. He almost kicked it over the net. You kidding me? 3:20 left to go first half. Brookville takes their first lead of the game, 14-0 over James Monroe. Championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Oh, look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen, welcome back. Taylor, that penalty is being assessed on the kickoff. So now Gutierrez is going to kick off from the 45-yard line. If you're James Monroe, why even come out on the field?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this one's going over the end zone, maybe even through the uprights.
You always wonder in a situation like this, do you take a shot at an onside kick maybe?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt
It's
because you
always
haven't seen
tempting.
James Monroe really get past the 50-yard line that much anyways. I mean, it happened one time and they got the touchdown out of it.
Watch this. Is it good? Is it through the uprights? It hits the net. It's good. It's good. That's another touchback.
That is just ridiculous.
That's not even fair. Now there's about 15 seconds of lives that nobody here is going to get back. They could have just said, hey, just stick it on the 20 and let's get on with it.
But hey, would you want to miss that? I mean, that's pretty much a 60-yard field goal from a junior in high school.
He attempted a 54-yarder a couple of weeks ago. They said that it was right on line and just a little bit short. Said it probably would have been good from like 52. James Monroe finds themselves trailing for the first time this afternoon, down 14-7. Jay Scroggins in the shotgun. Handoff sweep left. Darrell Dyson. Dyson to the sticks.
Looks like he's going to be just short of the first down, and Dyson's another one of the guys from James Monroe, likes to get outside the tackles. You see him here, nice lead block right here, and he just keeps going up the field. Great job, though, by Jamal Payne to stop him right before he crosses the first down marker.
Both teams, all 3 timeouts left, 3:14 left to go first half. Dyson motion from the left. Handoff ahead, close to the 30-yard line and driven backwards. This is very close to first down. It will come down to the spot. Adrian Boone, the ball carrier. It is first down.
Well, Adrian Boone didn't have a chance there. It was him against about 4 or 5 Brookville defenders up front. I think it's safe to say Brookville win that matchup every time.
Scoggins is going to throw. Square out. Tended for Dyson. Incomplete.
Dyson trying to go for the one-handed grab there. Couldn't quite bring it in. And he had some field to work with had he caught that ball, because he'd have had Anthony Callaway chasing.
We saw a one-handed grab last night. Remember we were watching that game, Montana State
and goodness.
Sam Houston State? Kid from Montana State made a one-handed grab for the highlight reel. 2nd and 10, 2:53, clock stopped. Handoff, Boone. Shaking in the backfield, breaks one tackle, won't break the second tackle, loss of a yard on the play.
And Boone made the initial defender miss. You see here on the replay, great move, but number 12, Ryan Maddox, not having any of it, and he stays at home and comes up with the tackle. I like how Boone is able to read so quickly, though, the defensive front and make the first guy miss.
Timeout on the field. Brookville takes their first time out of the half, looking to get the ball back with a lot of time. 2:38, the clock is stopped right now. Third down now for James Monroe after the timeout.
Now a little scenario. We're going to play coach here, Bruce. Say James Monroe does not get the first down. Brookville gets the ball back. Do you just try to run this clock out as much as you can? If you come up with 6, great, but at least just get in field goal range? Or are you just going for pay dirt and going guns blazing? And if you get it quick, then big deal, let your defense come up with a stop before half.
There's no tomorrow, baby. It's basketball season here in about 2 hours for both of these teams. No, you're going for the goal. You remember last year's game. It started out fast, slowed down for a little while. Third quarter was relatively quiet, and then it was a shootout. No, I think these teams, you said it earlier, they know each other. I don't expect anything less than a pure shootout at the end. Scroggins sacked back at the 20-yard line.
Derek Fox, that's sack number 2 for the young man. And my goodness, Jay Scroggins, his ribs are going to be feeling it tomorrow morning. Oh, my word. He didn't have a chance to get his feet set.
Winner, chicken dinner. Are you kidding me? Brookville takes their second timeout now. They create that 4th down situation. Line of scrimmage is a 22-yard line now. So they have an opportunity now, like you were talking about, Taylor, put some points up on the board here.
And if they can get a decent little return out of it, I mean, they'll have the ball right, not just around midfield, but in James Monroe territory. So they'll have plenty of clock to work with, not a long distance to go, so you can afford to run the ball a little bit more. But, Bruce, I got to tell you, man, Derek Fox has so far, he has to be the defensive MVP. He's already got 2 sacks, and, I mean, he's introducing Jay Scroggins to championship varsity football.
You keep that in mind because we've got to come up with players of the game at the end for both sides. Fans, you can purchase a DVD copy of today's game online at VHSLnetwork.com, and you can enjoy the memories of this special championship production forever. And if the second half of this one turns out to be anything like the second half of last year's game, you're going to want this one in the series of the Bees and the Yellow Jackets.
This is like a trilogy you see from movies.
Going back to 96, but we'll skip 96. This one goes back to 08. It's just 3 times in, the last 6 years or so? Ellis, the punt, inside the 10 now. On 4th and 19, no pressure. End over end, fair catch by Hogg at the 46, 47-yard line. So decent field position for Brookville, but only 1 timeout.
Well, as often as these teams like to run the ball to the outside, I mean, you don't really need the timeouts. They're going to try and get out of bounds anyways. They're going to be right there. So really not, again, right around midfield for Brookville. This is kind of something they're getting used to here now in the game. 2.5 minutes to go. I mean, this is plenty of time to work with for them.
Brookville with that no-huddle offense helps in this situation as well. Spread formation, 2 receivers either side. Kendall Beecraft in the shotgun. Straight drop, setting up the screen. Callaway with the screen at midfield, breaks a tackle, dives inside the 50, down at the 47-yard line, pickup of 5.
And I really like how Anthony Callaway runs. I mean, it doesn't matter how many guys are on him. You see on the replay here, Beecraft took a shot. But look at that, he's got one hand on him, still moving, still fighting. He doesn't go down easy. These Brookville players really fight until the whistle.
Trips right. Slip screen, right side. Complete to Atkins. Atkins down the sideline. Atkins has a first down at the 32-yard line. Look out, here come the Bees.
And again, another quick pass from Beecraft to the outside. Atkins using his speed and agility to get outside these defensive backs. And almost gets out of bounds there, but keeps trying to fight for a few extra yards.
Brookville looking to tack on to that 7-point lead. Under 2 to go first half. Motion from the left. Inside sweep again. Back up, cutting it up towards the middle. Jamal Payne. Payne picks up a few.
And I like the play calling here by Brookville. They're really they're getting some quick passes to give themselves some, 8 to 12 yard gains, run the ball a little bit, really chew up the clock, but still manage to march the ball downfield.
2nd and 6 now. Payne. Sweep again, Atkins. Hilson Atkins looking for the corner and also looking to get out of bounds. He is out of bounds at the 25. That'll stop the clock, 1:21.
We see Atkins again trying to get outside. This is just a staple of these two offenses, and good job of keeping his feet moving so he can get out of bounds and stop that clock. We've seen them. They took over from their own 45-yard line. Now they're on the 25. So they've really marched over half of the distance they needed to get to a touchdown in just over a minute. So they're really using this clock wisely.
2 receivers either side. Kendall Beecraft in the shotgun. 4-man front. Beecraft keeps it, sacked back at the 30-yard line.
Beecraft really just didn't have anywhere to go. That's number 20 again, James McFadden, coming up for the stop. And you see Beecraft faking the handoff here, trying to run, but McFadden stays at home, makes the right play, and comes up with a tackle in the backfield.
4th down now, and long. Looks like Brookville's going to let this clock run as much as they can and take a timeout, take a shot at a long field goal from here. 28-38, be about a 45, 47-yarder with 41 seconds to go, and Brookville will take that timeout. Fans, coming up at the half, we'll show you first half highlights, break down the first 2 quarters of this championship game. We'll also take a look at our halftime stats presented by Virginia 529 Savings Plan. All of that and more coming up at halftime. Well, maybe, just maybe, we can get you some scores from the other games being played right now, the Division 1 and 5 games, right? Stonebridge Bulldogs from Northern Virginia in action again this afternoon at Scott Stadium in UVA.
And boy, I tell you, that Stonebridge game is going to be an interesting one because, it's not Stonebridge and Phoebus. It's just kind of not the usual, not the norm that you usually see. Whenever Stonebridge gets a state championship, they've had to go through Phoebus at some point, and it's usually in the state title.
No, but Lake Taylor went through Phoebus. They went through Phoebus like a hot knife through butter. What was it, 54
to nothing. They went through them like tissue paper. There was no competition. And I've heard some people say, oh, well, it's deceiving. 54-0 is exclamation point.
Speaking of 54, we got a 45-yard field goal attempt to the left. No wind. Little bit of wind is at the back of Alan Gutierrez. It's down. It's blocked. It's blocked. James Monroe picks it up. It's back on the turf again. It's still down. It's still on the ground and covered at the 45-yard line. Mark that one down, fans. That's a huge play. And here comes another penalty flag in the pile. Mark down that block.
That is huge because now if James Monroe is coming away with the football, they are in Brookville territory and can come right down the field and tie this up right before half. So this could be a huge momentum swing.
Let's see what this penalty is. If this penalty is against Brookville.
Looked like it was a hit in the back.
We'll find out after the referees mark this off. Monroe's pointing at Brookville like the penalty is against the Bees. And if it is, 31 seconds left. James Monroe with all 3 timeouts. They are going to get terrific field position. This is a 15-yarder against Brookville. Line of scrimmage now is the Bees' 30-yard line.
And how's this for a change of scenarios here? Brookville was in control coming into the end of the second quarter, and now there's a chance for it to be tied up.
Check this out. Swinging gate right. Here we go. Yellow Jackets headed end zone right. The sophomore, Scroggins, at the quarterback. They stay in it. He's going to keep it. He's got a lot of running room left side. Headed for the corner inside the 25, down at the 24.
And look at that, the sophomore going into the senior, lowering his shoulder and ready to make contact. I like the aggressiveness of Jay Scroggins. This kid's fearless.
I like the decision-making as well on that from the quarterback. You don't see that often in a kid at this level, that young, make a decision like that. He was looking for receivers, saw a lane, said, I understand the situation. I'm going to take advantage.
Yeah, you know what? He makes good heads-up plays. And here's the thing, Bruce, he's only a sophomore. We keep saying it, but you know what? He's going to be around for 2 more years. Brookville, if they make it back next year, too, for another rematch, I mean, this is a guy that they're going to have to deal with for the next 2 years.
Get to Triple Pete here coming back between these two teams. Monroe takes their first time out with 22.8 left on the clock. 2nd and 4 inside the 25 of James Monroe. Ball is on the far hash mark. Jackets headed end zone to the right. Adrian Boone is the tailback. He scored James Monroe's only touchdown on a long run right up the middle. Let's see what happens here. Play action, B-Craft towards the middle. Nearly picked and broken up inside the 10. He was looking for
number 8, Dyson.
Ellis. Dyson broke it up.
Boy, Dyson had his hands on it. And that would have been huge, because then James Monroe has no shot of scoring again, because I would imagine Brookville would just kneel the ball going to the half with a 1-touchdown lead.
Daryl Dyson turning from receiver to defender on that play. 3rd and 3. Scroggins is going to throw again. This one in the middle. Got it to 5 at the goal line. Touchdown, James Monroe. They answer.
Hold on, we got a penalty
There's
flag.
A penalty
might be
flag.
coming back.
Coming back. There's holding.
Wow, what a huge break for Brookville.
He had Adrian Boone
Here's the
out of the
replay.
backfield up the middle.
Oh, sure enough, the hold was there on the left tackle. Not sure who it was. Didn't get to see the number, but it was there. Boy, that's just costly for James Monroe. And if you're Brookville, you're loving the luck right now.
12.9 left on the clock. I'll tell you who's not loving it is a James Monroe coach. He's got to argue, but now when he sees the replay and watches the film of this one, he'll see it. Line of scrimmage now is all the way back at the 38-yard line. 12 seconds left to go.
And now let's see if Scroggins can make another big play with his arm, if that's what they choose to do. You'd imagine they would.
Motion from the left. Play action again. Scroggins sets up the screen. Right side, Daryl Dyson. Dyson dropped at the 40.
Dyson had nowhere to go. Brookville just closed on him awful quick. See the replay here. Scroggins dropping back, finds him. Dyson's wide open, but man, Brookville's just everywhere. And that was
Caleb Thompson.
Caleb Thompson, the big old defensive lineman, getting out there.
3.7 left. James Monroe's going to take another timeout. And why not? You know, you can burn the quarter. The only bad thing that can happen is a turnover 6 the other way. And if you're James Monroe, you got to take a shot at the end zone here.
Well, I would imagine Brookville is just going to play everybody back. Keep everything in front of you. Then once the ball is thrown, then close in on the football, because you don't want to risk getting beat over the top, because over the top, you see a lot of red turf right there. That's 6 points. You don't want to give that up.
This is a case where if you're the defensive coordinator, the defensive backs coach, you say, nobody gets behind you. Nobody gets behind you. You can't say that enough times in that timeout huddle.
You don't want to pull a Redskins secondary against the New York Giants.
I got to go there, do you? All right, we're going to take a shot here at a 57-yard field goal.
If this goes through, I'm leaving the building.
David Dick. Out of the hold of Scroggins. 57. This will be close to the state record, which I think is 59. Chris Dawson from Parkview High School has it. It's either 58 or 59. We can look it up.
Be ready for a fake
Dick,
here, too.
It is a fake. Inside, handoff. At the 40, at the 35, and down there as the first quarter comes to a close. On the carry was Antonio Wynn Coleman. You knew that pretty much had to be a fake.
And Darius
We're
McMillan.
going to find out if the first half is in the books or not. Referees are still on the field. Teams are still back on the field. Brookville's calling their players back. Illegal procedure penalty called against James Monroe, declined by Brookville, so that will end the first half. Lots of action to talk about on the halftime show coming up. Our score at the half in the state championship game, Division III. The Brookville Bees 14, the James Monroe Yellow Jackets 7. Don't you dare miss the second half.
The team that nobody picked, that nobody said could do it. The Cinderella story has done it. They're your 2010 Division VI state champs. The shoe fits. The shoe fits.
Pitch to Earl, sweeping right, cutting up, diving, hit, bouncing, diving, twisting, end zone, touchdown, broad run, Spartans. Breon Earl, not second effort, not third effort, 4 efforts to get into the end zone, and the Lancers cannot believe it. And that's it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Blue Devils, Division II state champs.
For the 28th straight game, the Broad Run Spartans are state champions, and they did it in 2009, just like in 2008, with perfection.
Party on, Brambleton. The Briarwoods Falcons are the 2010 Virginia State football champions. Fly high, Falcons, fly high.
Bulldogs football, under center is Glennon. He'll fake and roll to his left, across the 15, still on his feet at the 10. He's dancing at the 5 and into the end zone.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Third down and 3 for the Indians. Oh, the ball came loose. Tiger's going to pick it up.
Look at that.
Took it back and scored.
Whoa!
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Buy a DVD of this or any of the Virginia High School League championships at VHSLnetwork.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen, Williams Stadium, campus of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. At the half, Brookville 14, James Monroe 7 in a rematch of last year's championship game. Taylor, not as many points at halftime as there was last year. I believe it was 44 points on the board, 24-20 at the half, I think it was last year, 14-7, but no less exciting.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing kind of a complete opposite game of what we saw last year. Not as much scoring, literally about half as many points, but give a lot of credit to the defenses because of that, because both defenses have really stepped up and managed to neutralize a lot of these playmakers from both teams. When they like to try to get outside the hash marks, get outside the tackles, they don't have the opportunities to break big plays. We see here Scroggins, quick screen pass over the middle, and that was something that they can take a look at and maybe go to some more in the second half. James Monroe really utilizing a lot of their speed. We see here they break it outside for a big play. Guys from Brookville, though, really closing the door on the ability to break away for a big yardage. Scroggins again rolling out here. And then that was a huge pick, which ultimately resulted in another, we mentioned it earlier, a blown opportunity for Brookville, missing the field goal. But again, more guys getting to the outside. That right there is number 27, Anthony Callaway. He was huge in the first half, Bruce.
Got the touchdown, and then on a play-action fake, sweep right side, headed down inside the 15 to set Brookville up in great position again, Hilson Atkins.
Yeah, and we see here you've got Jamal Payne. I mean, he's been another guy playing on both sides of the ball today, just coming up huge. And then beautiful field goal attempt, but sailed it wide right. And that was Brookville's really missed 2 in this first half. And, boy, how about this run here by number 32? That's big old Adrian Boone. He's the bruiser on the James Monroe team, but Scroggins has been sacked twice so far today, and both times have been from Derek Fox. He's been huge in the first half for Brookville. And, oh, my goodness. Number 50 for James Monroe, Kyle Washington. He's been big defensively, already about 6 tackles. And Scroggins, that was a huge play there as well. Scroggins coughed up the ball and unfortunately got called back. They said he was down, but, man, everything seemed to start going the right way for James Monroe on this drive. You see number 8, Daryl Dyson, breaking outside. This is when things really started to open up for both offenses, and the majority of the scoring happened. And then again, Scroggins dropping back. That was the play we said just really solidified him as having a legitimate arm in this game. I mean, putting it on a laser there for Daryl Dyson.
Second play of the game.
Adrian Boone. That was the first score of the game, and it was on a 42-yard run from Adrian Boone. So he's a guy that can really break big plays right there and make guys miss. But Brookville responded awful quickly. You see the big run there by Phillip Watts, and then not too much longer after that, you see this run. Oh, my goodness, by number 27, Anthony Callaway, making 3 guys miss, breaking off down the sidelines, faking the change of direction, and gets across the goal line for 6. They responded like that.
Something's got to happen huge in the second half to knock that out of play of the game.
And Beecraft, man, that far side of the field has been wide open for him in the second quarter. Managed to get 2 big plays, one of which was for the touchdown. I'm sure we're going to see that here momentarily. And again, Callaway breaking another big run inside the red zone, which is where Brookville struggled a little bit early on. They had 3 opportunities to score in the red zone, didn't capitalize, but this time they did. And he gets a wide open number 3, Benjamin Hogg, in the end zone. And like you said, the and one in the end zone.
Face mask penalty tacked on to it.
And Derek Fox, the second sack of the half. And here's that blocked field goal we talked about. And, man, ball is still alive and gave James Monroe some life right before the half to knot things up. I mean, just when you thought it was about to become a 2-score game, James Monroe answers right back, and they have an opportunity to tie it up. And then the fake field goal here, just nowhere to go, really. Brookville's just all over the field, and that pretty much ended the half. So we've seen a lot of trickery, a lot of guys making big plays, trying to get outside, a lot of speed and deception from both of these football teams.
You know, one thing about that block kick, Gutierrez makes the tackle. If he doesn't make the tackle, that's a touchdown. Not only did Gutierrez make the tackle after the block kick, but he also forced that fumble. That's why we're still only at 14-7. That and a huge holding penalty against James Monroe.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We've got some stats in front of us. Not a lot of passing going on, but the rushing yards comparison is just, you look at how much these teams like to run, and it's here. I mean, Adrian Boone for James Monroe, not 75 yards rushing total, 8.1 yards a carry. I mean, it's just impressive. We got 124 rushing yards for Brookville, 104 for James Monroe. I mean, really the biggest difference when you look at these stats is the passing yards and total yards. That's really what's been deciding the game so far, Bruce.
Yeah, rushing yard is only a 20-yard difference. Even I can do that math at 124 and 104. But 238 total yards for Brookville. Yeah, a lot of that, though, really, Taylor, came in that first half when they moved the ball, did the Bees down the field on 2 drives, but coming up empty on both of those drives.
Yeah, and that was really crucial because if you really think about it, say they even just get 2 field goals out of it, we're at a 20-7 ball game right now, and Brookville is sitting pretty. But now we see such a stark comparison, a stark difference between the two teams as far as total yards and their offenses, and it seems like, just by looking on paper, James Monroe has struggled offensively, but then you look at the score and you say, how is it possible that there could be that big of a difference and it still be close?
Yeah, what would you expect? Anything less? I don't think so. You look at the history of these two teams. We said in the pregame, it's the 4th time they've met in the state championship game. James Monroe winning twice in 96 and 08. Brookville with the revenge last year to make it 2-1 in favor of James Monroe. But all 3 of those games have been close. You got a 7-point game in 96, 7-0. James Monroe wins it in 08. It's James Monroe 50-46 over Brookville, and then last year 34-33, a 1-point game. You look at further into the stats and numbers from last year, it was 24-20 at the half, favor of Brookville. Not a lot of points in the third quarter, 33-31 at the end of 3, 34-33 at the end. So these teams have a history, number one, and number two, they have a history of playing tight, exciting ball games.
Yeah, I mean, last year, we were screaming and hooting and hollering up here in the press box because it just seemed like it kept going back and forth at the end of the game, and there was really no team that just had a clear-cut winner. It was one of those where you wish neither team had to lose because the game was just that good. And then here today, you see really the biggest reason that it's still close is just because of costly penalties and mistakes from Brookville.
This is one of those times in a halftime show where we're supposed to sit down and expertly break down and predict the second half and say the keys in the second half and what to look for. I don't think with the history of these two teams, it takes a rocket scientist to figure out what's going to happen here in the second half. The only thing I can see is Brookville, actually both teams, got to clean up the penalties.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest thing that both teams need to get a grasp on and get under control, because if you think about it, 2 penalties on 2 straight time on the first 2 drives actually of the game for Brookville ended in penalties, which put them back out of the red zone. And really, if you capitalize on both of those red zone opportunities, Brookville is sitting pretty, and same for James Monroe. They could have knotted it up at 14 apiece right before half, but a costly holding penalty held them back from, no pun intended, from getting a tie ball game here at halftime. So penalties has been huge for these two teams.
One of 2 games today will bring you second half of today's action is the Division IV championship game between Briarwoods Falcons from Ashburn, Brambleton, Virginia, up in Northern Virginia area, looking for their 3rd straight title. They'll play Heritage of Lynchburg in their first appearance in the state championship game in quite some time. We're halfway winding down the halftime show here. We've got, about 4 or 5 minutes left in this halftime show. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, it'll be close to time to kick off this second half. Halftime score, Brookville 14, James Monroe 7. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Oh, look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Third down and 3 for the Indians. Oh, the ball came loose. Tiger's going to pick it up.
Look at that.
Took it back and scored.
Whoa!
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Buy a DVD of this or any of the Virginia High School League Championships at VHSLnetwork.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen. 1/2 in the books, 1/2 to go. Division III VHSL State Football Championship game here at Liberty University. At the half, the Brookville Bees 14, the James Monroe Yellow Jackets 7. Taylor, it's been fun so far, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, and you know what? If last year is any indication of what's going to happen this year, I mean, we're in for an exciting second half of football because now you really get into crunch time. You've only got 2 more quarters left of football in your season, and these two teams, Brookville's out to prove last year wasn't a fluke. They would deserve to win that game. James Monroe is out to prove that it was a fluke, that, hey, we own you guys in the state championship game. This is our house.
Well, here's what I know. If Brookville wins this game and ties the series at 2-2, you and me are back for the rematch, when and wherever. You get the feeling that these two teams, we said it earlier, there's not a lot of love lost between them. I kind of get the feeling that they'd be perfectly willing to strap them up in the parking lot next week if they could.
Oh, yeah, these two teams, it doesn't matter who wins, because the other team is going to say, well, no, you shouldn't have won that game. Let's get another crack at you. And they're just going to want to keep going back and forth. There's rivalries, Bruce. Then there's postseason rivalries where two teams are just always going at it at the biggest stage, and these two teams are it, especially for Division III. I mean, this is the premier matchup in the state of Virginia.
You know, that's a great way to look at it, and something we can talk about when we get a break is regular season rivalries and postseason rivalries. Postseason rivalries take on a whole new meaning because there's so much more at stake.
You're ending your rival's season, and for some guys, their football careers.
Gutierrez tees it up to begin the second half, right to left. Taken right there at the goal line by Darrell Dyson. Dyson looking to get outside, still on his feet as he crosses the 20-yard line. Penalty flag down, though, way back inside the 15.
I think we may be looking at a block in the back or a hold here. Not the way you want to open up the half if you're James Monroe, if the penalty's against them. Deep kick here on the replay. And you see Dyson trying to break it outside. And, yep, sure enough, there's the block in the back on James Monroe. So that's going to be costly. And now James Monroe has really got to go the length of the field. They're going to be backed up inside their own 10, maybe 5-yard line, I believe.
I think one of the stories of this game so far is field position, and field position changed by penalty. We've seen 20 and 25-yard shifts on penalties where a play would end 25 yards downfield, but after a penalty they lose the 25 yards on that, and that's huge.
And now you see James Monroe taking over from their own 6.
Scroggins out of the shotgun. Handoff. Boone to the middle, just trying to get out of the shadow of the end zone. Takes it out to the 14.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to open up this possession with a pass attempt, especially when Derek Fox has sacked Scroggins twice deep in the backfield. So that's not something you want to leave the chance.
And Brookville's picked one and actually could have picked 2 others. 2nd and 3, opening drive, second half. Scroggins stays in the shotgun along with Adrian Boone in the backfield. It's Boone coming left. That's towards us. Off of a block at the 15. Bounces it outside now across the 20 to the 22-yard line. That's a first down. Nice running by Adrian Boone. Did you see him set up and read his blocks?
Yeah, he did a great job of reading his block and then reading what the defender was doing. The Brookville defender, not sure who it was, turned his back to try to spin off of the block, and once his back was turned, Adrian Boone recognized it and took off to the outside. You can't turn your back on Adrian Boone because he's already proven he can break away for big plays.
From the 22-yard line, James Monroe down 7, 14-7 here. First possession, second half, near hash. Scroggins to throws, going deep, up top, down the sideline for Ellis. Incomplete, looking for Shamir Ellis down the field. Callaway with coverage.
Yeah, Scroggins had him open. I mean, Shamar Ellis had his man beat, just a little overthrown, but that's an area where they just have connected all season long, those two, and just managed to come away with big plays. And Shamar Ellis, once he catches that football, Bruce, he's gone. I mean, no one's catching him.
He's tall, 6'2", 160. Looks taller than that, actually. He's a presence on the field and comes wide left. You can find him. He's got that bright orange sleeve. Looks like he's a traffic controller. Slant, complete at the 45. First down, check that at the 34. First down. Completion there. Matt Forgin.
Great job by Brookville to eliminate yards after the catch, but, I mean, really, we've seen Scroggins on these passes. When he's throwing in the middle of the field, they've been wide open every time, Bruce. I mean, there's been no one around them, and he's just been able to put it right on the numbers every time, and Brookville is just, chasing these receivers.
Wait for him to go back to Anthony Boone up the middle. That was the touchdown that got negated. Out of the gun on play action again. Hook in the middle. Forgin fighting for the first down. It's going to be very close at the 43.
And Forgin is a really big target for Jay Scroggins. I mean, he's 6'2", and we see a great pass there. Hit him right in the numbers, right between the 1 and the 5. Can't put it much better than that. And, I mean, really, Forgin at 6'2", 175 pounds. I mean, that's a big tight end for high school football, Bruce. So he's a guy, when he gets open, I mean, he's going to catch the football.
Measurement out forthcoming here as they bring the chains on. Today's championship game is being streamed live online at VHSLnetwork.com. You can watch a complete replay of this contest on demand at your leisure. Visit VHSLnetwork.com for more exciting coverage of Virginia High School League championship events. You can catch them all throughout the season and the school year. Measurement of this is this just short or what? Can you get a credit card in between a football and that stick? Can't get my credit card because it's so swollen. It is just short. 2nd and inches. Let's 2nd and Visa, right?
We'll call it that. 2nd and Visa.
9:55 left to go, third quarter. 14-7, Brookville in front. Division III state championship game. Division I and Division V being played right now as well. 1 is at Salem and 5 is at UVA. Second, and all kind of short here. Scroggins in the shotgun. Motion left. Scroggins, he'll keep. Oh, he got smacked at the line of scrimmage. But I think the way these guys are running in from the side, he's going to lose a yard. I thought Forward Progress had it.
And here's the replay. I mean, the Brookville defensive line, they are staying at home. All these fake jet sweeps and inside sweeps, plays like that, Brookville's not biting on the fakes, Bruce. They are sitting there waiting, staying at home, being patient, and finding the football. And in that case, that worked out pretty poorly for Scroggins because he just got eaten up by about 3 big old B defensive linemen.
Referee's timeout on the field. Let's see what this is all about. You know, you're right. We've seen both teams try to get to the outside, and with the exception of the Callaway touchdown, which I think really went off tackle and broke it to the outside, these sweeps haven't been successful either way. Both teams have had more success actually running the middle.
And these two teams, they thrive off of big plays. When they get outside, it's a big play opportunity. That's their bread and butter because they have the speed and athleticism needed to do it.
3rd and 1 at the 42. Scroggins in the gun. Slant, incomplete, intended for Fortune. Now what do you do?
It looked like Tyler Burford got a hand on it. He's skied up there to try to get a piece. He may have. 4th down now.
And is that Ellis down in the middle of the field there? It's 4th down and decision time. Taylor, this is another key turning point, I think, anyway. Monroe had the ball less than 2-3 inches to get the first down. Lost a yard on that play, and then they try to run a slant on 3rd down and miss it there. Now it's 4th down and a yard, and you're not in great field position. You're at your own 42-yard line.
Yeah, you know, give credit to the Brookville defense for holding tough and not giving up those 2-3 inches. That's so easy to give up if you're a defensive line. I mean, it's only a matter of inches, so they really stepped up to the challenge. Now, James Monroe, I mean, you almost think it's a must-punt situation.
Well, and here's the other situation. Shamar Ellis, who just went off the field, thankfully under his own power, is the punter. So now stepping back in punt formation is Adrian Boone. We've seen one fake today. That was on a long field goal attempt. Boone inside the 30. He's going to go ahead and punt it. Gets it away over Hogg's head, rolls at the 10. Hogg picks it up at the 6. He's not going anywhere except down at the turf in the arms of Darrell Dyson. It's another dangerous play by Hogg to pick that up.
It really was. I mean, because that's the footballs that are, when you're catching a football off the bounce, Bruce, that's not easy to catch. Really easy to bobble it or mishandle it, which the second it's touched by a Brookville player, that's a live football. So to do that inside your own 10-yard line, I would imagine the coaches would say, hey, just let it bounce, and we'll take over from wherever the spot is.
You think they call Ben the boss?
Ben the boss. Boss Hogg.
Yeah.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah. You never watch that? Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, yeah.
Boss Hogg? Come on now. Here comes Callaway. Tripped up in the backfield. Drugged down by Eric Nelson. Nelson got a hold and wouldn't let go.
No gain on the carry, 2nd down.
So Brookville kind of doing the same thing. It's almost like we're seeing mirror images of each other's possessions. James Monroe ended up with similar field position inside their own 10. Brookville doing the same, trying to get out of that position where they may get a safety or be at risk of getting a safety.
Kind of the way the first quarter started. Motion from the right. Handoff up the middle. Huge hole for Derek Fox. Fox gets a carry on offense after shining on defense. He goes all the way out to the 22.
And boy, he's been huge. Look at this here. Look at that hole. He had about 6 yards to work with of no one being near him. And Derek Fox, both sides of the football, making plays on both sides. It's one thing to play on offense and defense. It's another to actually have impacts on both sides, too.
Out of the pistol. B-Craft. Callaway. Callaway changing directions. Got B-Craft for a blocker in front. B-Craft whiffs on the block, but Callaway goes all the way out to the 40.
You know, I like that, though. B-Craft, you usually don't see quarterbacks that are stepping up and making blocks or hitting guys. B-Craft isn't scared to do it. He wants to make plays to help his team win. Doesn't matter if it's hitting a guy, making one quick block. You see here, Crawford bounces outside, changes direction, comes all the way back, and B-Craft is there helping him out. That's team chemistry at its finest.
7:30 left to go, third quarter, 14-7 Brookville in front. Again. Ahead goes Fox. Fox, 2 carries in a row. Eric Nelson made the tackle. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard pickup.
So Derek Fox getting a nice little 4-yard pickup here. Still a lot of room to work with in that hole. Give credit to the offensive line. They're doing a great job pushing off and creating opportunities for the backs to get some yards.
Anthony Callaway now, Payne in motion. Inside reverse again, coming back this way. Hilson Atkins. And again, they get a couple of yards on it, but those sweeps just are being well defended both sides of the football.
Well, the corners on both sides of the field are doing a good job of not getting pushed back from the blockers, and they're making sure they're reading what's going on to keep containment. They're shedding the blocks and forcing them to try to turn upfield. By the time they do that, there's 3 other Brookville defenders waiting for them. Or James Monroe.
Phillip Watts also checks into the backfield now. Motion from the right, that's Payne. It's Watts. Watts, the fullback, across midfield, bulldozing his way out to the 47-yard line. That's first down yardage.
Oh boy, Phillip Watts. That's a big guy to bring down. 5'11", 215. You see here, nothing there. Bounces it outside. It's a nice little stiff arm. And he is a bruiser. He's the kind of guy you want in those short yardage situations where you just got to push bodies out of there.
Halfway through the 3rd quarter, no change in the score. 14-7, Brookville leading. Looking for their 2nd straight state title. Handoff Atkins. Hilson Atkins down to the 42-yard line. Make it to 43. Motts with the tackle.
See, I like what Hilson Atkins is doing. He's not afraid to get in there with the big guys because he's significantly smaller than those defensive linemen, but he's not afraid to get in there. And James Monroe, though, is really doing a good job of slowing up this drive on this possession.
Under center, handoff, Atkins straight ahead, big blocking in front. Still on his feet, twisting at the 30 and finally down at the 26-yard line. Hilson Atkins. Tough running up the middle.
I think he heard me.
He's paying attention. Your voice does carry a lot of weight.
Wow, I mean, he just keeps the feet moving, and that's something we see from a lot of the Brookville runners is they don't get brought down by the first defender.
Motion again under center, Beecraft. It's Atkins again. Watts in front. Atkins slapped down at the 25-yard line. Did you see his head snap?
A lot of hard-hitting football out there today. And look at this. There's only been 1 possession for each team. Brookville's still in their first possession, and we're already under the 5-minute mark. So Brookville doing a good job of milking the clock and just having long, sustained drives, keeping the James Monroe offense off the field.
2nd and 8, pickup of 2. Derek Fox now in the backfield with Atkins. Play action. B-Crab. Across the middle, intended for Watts, incomplete. Watts had a couple hands on it. I guess he needed 3.
I think he got a little bit anxious there to turn and run with it. Maybe took his eyes off the football. So 3rd down for Brookville.
3rd, and we've seen, I think tonight, a lot of 3rd and long situations for both teams.
That we have it, and teams have converted on them, though. They dig into their little bag of tricks.
Anthony Callaway now back in the backfield behind Beecraft. Beecraft looking right. Oh, what a diving catch by Boss Hogg. Hogg inside the 15 to the 13. That's a first down. You won't see a better catch than that.
Goodness gracious, Benjamin Hogg. Look at that. And he has the awareness, the field awareness to keep his feet in bounds and make that catch. That is another one of those top play moments that you talk about after the game.
Not only that, how about the back shoulder throw from Kendall Beecraft? Watts the fullback inside the 10, close to the 8.
Number 34, Phillip Watts on the carry.
Phillip Watts gets the carry. He's got a lot of carries in this possession.
He really has. He's not easy to bring down. I mean, and it's really helped them by running the ball as often as they do. It opens up opportunities to throw it.
Brookville looking to make it a 2-score game now. Oh, Atkins not going anywhere this time. He's like that. You ever play, what's that thing if you're on ice skates or roller skates? Crack the whip?
Oh, yeah.
And you got the guy at the end, and you're spinning him around and spinning him around and spinning around. You finally let him go. That's what this looks like. Watch here.
He had nowhere to go. Nice blitz there from James Monroe. That was number 34, Antonio Wynn Coleman. And here we go again, another third and long situation. This time it's in the red zone, though, so in a third and long right here, you may as well just take the shot for 6.
Anthony Callaway in the backfield. Boss hog wide right. Wide receiver top of the screen left. Racanelli. Penalty flag down. Is this delay a game or too many on the field, or who knows? Wave off the penalty. No flag. No penalty. So it's 3rd and 8 now. From outside the 10. Kendall Beecraft in the shotgun. Anthony Callaway, the tailback. Payne, slot right. Looking for Racanelli in the back of the end zone behind the coverage. Racanelli up and over the defense for the touchdown. Stephen Racanelli for 6.
Stephen Racanelli just adding to the highlight reel catches that we've seen today. Look at this pump fake by Beecraft, lobbing it up there, and Racanelli over the top. My goodness. That is what we call, Bruce, this is what young people call hops. He's got hops.
Hops. I got that. See, we used to play this thing, it's called hopscotch. That's hops. Okay, we got some hops. All right, on for the extra point. Looking to make it 21-7, the Bees. Just blocked again. What's up with the kicking game for Brookville? He missed it. He didn't miss it. That thing just got blocked.
Miscue there from, I mean, it looked like he kind of stuttered, like he didn't know what he was going to do.
2:57 left to go, third quarter. Brookville extending the lead 20-7 over James Monroe. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Oh, look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
Welcome back. We left too soon. There was a penalty against James Monroe. Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the play. So now, with a half the distance penalty, Brookville lines up to go for 2. Under center, Beecraft in motion. Goes Atkins. It's Watts. It's Watts making it look easy, and another penalty flag's down, though, on the far side. Philip Watts gets into the end zone, but we'll see what the flag is.
And boy, I think that one might be against Brookville, so it could be coming right back.
Referees are illegal procedure. Brookville. I didn't see any move other than maybe the motion man might have turned up too soon.
That's got to be what it was.
Referee explaining the call to Brookville.
And so now Brookville
ball back to the 6-yard line.
Taking over from the 6, you'd imagine they're just going to kick it now. See if they can get their kicking game to go.
Yeah. Here comes Gutierrez. So, first there was no extra point, then there was 2 points. Now we're back to none. We'll find out after this. Look, they're skiing up there on the slope.
Just another great thing about Liberty University.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. Gutierrez. Let's see. Almost blocked again. Penetration up the middle, but this time he puts it through. And we're back to 21-7 now. Brookville over James Monroe in the Division III state championship game. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Buy a DVD of this or any of the Virginia High School League championships at VHSLnetwork.com.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen, Liberty University, home of the Flames. Brookville extending the lead 21-7 over James Monroe with 2:57 left to go, third quarter. Alan Gutierrez teed up again to kick it off. At the 40 this time. Squibber on the ground at the 20. Taken far side. It's like Dyson. Stopped at the 19-yard line, short of the 20. Daryl Dyson on the return. So 1st and 10 from the 19 for James Monroe. Monroe scored the first points of the game. They led 7-0. It's been all Brookville since then. The Bees 21-7 over the Jackets.
You know, you would almost dare to say this could be a must-score possession here for James Monroe, because if you give Brookville the ball back, the way their offense has been clicking this second half, you may go into a 3-score deficit.
1st and 10 from the 19. Jay Scroggins. Handoff, Adrian Boone. Boone swarmed under and driven backwards by an inspired Brookville defense.
Number 32, Adrian Boone on the carry.
Taking some time to separate after the play. Looks like another Yellow Jackets down.
Referee timeout. You know, and Taylor, you're right. This one was tight through 3 quarters last year, almost a reversal. Brookville went up 17-0 in the first quarter. Then it got tight the whole rest of the way. This one was tight early, and now it looks like maybe Brookville's trying to separate a little bit. This is a key possession for James Monroe.
Yeah, I mean, last year the game was 17-0. I mean, you and me looked at each other at one point and just kind of were giving each other a look like this is going to be ugly. It's going to be a blowout.
It's like, what are we going to talk about?
Before you know it, 23-20, James Monroe's on top at halftime. So, I mean, James Monroe can bounce back. But at the same time, the way the offenses have been playing today and how well defenses have been playing, I don't know that you want to chance that and leave that to chance.
Jay Scroggins, the quarterback, new tailback in. Slant. This one's nearly picked again. Almost. Kevin Bryant had it between the numbers.
He had it, and as he fell forward with it, we'll see it here on the replay, in his hands, and just pops out right as he hit the ground. So that's just kind of a tough break, but great heads-up play there by Bryant.
Good read by the safety to figure out the pattern. It's 3rd and 9 now from the 20. Scroggins in the shotgun, sends 2 receivers to the left, 1 top side. Play action, Scroggins going for it all down the far sideline. Incomplete, overthrew Daryl Dyson.
And another just overthrown ball there. It looked great, but overthrown by about a yard or two and just unable to connect. I mean, Bruce, you got to think about if they had connected on the last deep ball that they threw and this one, we could be looking at a tie ball game. So a lot of opportunities have kind of been diminished because of overthrown balls.
Van Hogg and Callaway deep to receive the punt from Ellis. Ellis end over end. Hogg takes it at the 40. A reverse back the other way. Here comes Payne. Jamal Payne around the corner. Up the numbers in the near sideline. Payne picking up blocker, still on his feet. Finally dropped at the 40-yard line. Nifty, shifty running from Jamal Payne. Watch this.
And let's take a look at the replay. Hogg takes it. Boss Hogg bringing the ball up, and then a little toss here to Jamal Payne. Look at how many guys he makes miss. There's one, and he's so quick and shifty. There's 2, 3, 4, and then finally a 5th guy comes up and hits him from behind. So he's so hard to bring down because he's so shifty and knows how to make guys miss. He just has a knack and a feel for how to beat defenders.
Bees in action again at the James Monroe 40. Near hash mark, headed right. B-Crap, handoff Callaway. Callaway trying to bounce to the outside, now cuts in between the tackles at the 35.
And you would imagine that the James Monroe defenses kind of going to start showing some signs of fatigue because they were on the field for about 9.5, 10 minutes on the last Brookville possession and just got gassed all the way down the field because Brookville just pounded away at them.
Minute 30 left to go, third quarter. Fox again on that little reverse, cut it back up the middle.
Great job there by Eric Nelson to trip him up in the backfield. Had he not done that, that would have been another first down, I would say, for Brookville.
3rd and 3 now at the 33. Need to get to the 30. Under a minute to go, third quarter now. Under center goes Beecraft. Watts hit, but falls forward close to the 30. Looks like he may be just a little short. Philip Watts gotten a lot of carries here in this third quarter.
We'll see the replay here. He's got to get past the 30, and looks like he is just short.
See, when you're up 2 touchdowns, it's a whole lot easier deciding to go for it on 4th and 1 at the other team's 30.
And Brookville has come up with it every time they've tried to convert. So this is an opportunity for James Monroe where they need to shut the door and get a turnover on down so they can give their offense a fighting chance. Their offense has only been on the field for a little over 2 minutes this quarter total.
4th and 1 now. Had an equipment issue. That's why there was a timeout. James Monroe had to change players. Under center now goes Beecraft. Beecraft, he'll keep it himself. Turn his back pedal for the first down inside the 30 at the 27.
So
needed 1, got 4.
Keeping the chains moving. And James Monroe playing with their backs against the wall.
Referee winds the clock with 18 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Waiting for the stadium clock to start. There it starts. Brookville raises the symbol for the fourth quarter. 4 fingers in the air as they walk towards the sideline. They'll let this clock expire as we head to the fourth quarter. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Bruce Bornarth, Taylor Jensen. 3 down, 1 to go, Taylor, in this championship game, Division 3.
12 minutes left in these two teams' seasons, and then it's basketball season. But don't count James Monroe out. For those of you who have not been listening today or are not familiar with last year's matchup between these two teams, James Monroe was down 17-0. Went ahead 23-20 in 1 quarter.
12 minutes ago to the championship. Scroggins to Callaway on first down to the 25-yard line. I expect to see a heavy dose of the run game at this point from Brookville. Just keep the clock running. The clock becomes your friend if you're a B.
It becomes your friend, and it keeps the James Monroe offense off the field. Now, James Monroe's offense has struggled here in the second half, but the longer you can keep them off the field, the better your chances are of holding them off.
Anthony Callaway, the tailback. He'll take the handoff and come left. He has a block, splits the defenders. Inside the 15, down to the 14. Somebody lost a shoe with the 18. Anthony Callaway, another first down.
And here we go. See again, coming to the outside. Great blocking by Brookville. Another great block from Stephen Racanelli. We haven't called his name a lot. He had a big touchdown catch earlier, but he had a great block there to open up a hole for Callaway to get a few extra yards.
2 receivers go right. Atkins and Hogg, I don't think they'll be a factor. Racanelli comes left. Motion from the left. Ahead on the carry, Fox. Fox inside the 10, close to the 9-yard line. Derek Fox. You know, Brookville, I'm impressed with the way they're spreading out the running game here in the second half. Well, we got 4 or 5 different ball carriers.
Yeah, they have so many different weapons, Bruce, that it almost gives you too many options that you got to cover if you're James Monroe. And that's something that has been Brookville's staple all season, is a spread attack that really utilizes a lot of players.
2nd and 6 inside the 10. Callaway met at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard or so. That time the hole collapsed in a hurry from that James Monroe defensive front.
And James Monroe's defense right now is playing with a lot of fire. They got to come up with a stop. And we see another 3rd and long situation, but they haven't been able to completely close the door when it's 3rd and long. They need to do that here. And even though it's in field goal range for Brookville, their kicking game has not been on point today. So if you can force them to kick a field goal, then your odds are pretty good at getting the ball back and getting a score.
Out of the shotgun, in motion. Inside reverse again, coming back this way. Inside the 10, close to the 6-yard line, Jamal Payne. He's short of the first down by a few yards, and out trots. I don't see, there he comes. I see Gutierrez now. It's 4th and 4 at the 7. Going to be about a 25-yard field goal attempt, make it 24 yards from right in the middle of the field, kicking to our left. What little bit of wind there is behind Gutierrez's back.
And people don't realize how big of a play this is. James Monroe's already blocked a field goal, and the kicking game from Brookville has not been very sharp today.
Brookville was 0 for 2. This one's on the way. This one's in the net. Now Brookville's 1 for 3 on field goals with 9:15 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Brookville extends the lead 24-7 over James Monroe on VHSLnetwork.com.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
Today's championship game is being brought to you in part by the Virginia 529 Savings Plan. You can learn more about the Virginia 529 Savings Plan by visiting them online at virginia529.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/VA529. Put 3 kids through college. My wife and I could have used that. That's a good plan. You got kids coming? You don't even have kids yet. Get on board. Start it now. Yeah, I mean, you can have a whole herd of kids. I think you should start it. Gutierrez, touchback.
And boy, that's something we've seen on a regular basis from Gutierrez. He put one through the uprights earlier. Granted, I mean, it was from the 50-yard line, but still. That's, I don't even think I can get it to the end zone.
I couldn't hit a driver through the uprights from the 50. Although that nice synthetic field down, how cool. Wouldn't that be fun to go down and hit some golf balls?
Oh, yeah.
Or from up here. We're 6 stories up above the field. Got a bird's eye view looking down and looking at the mountains and the hills across the way. What do they call that? Mount St. Liberty or something?
Liberty Mountain.
Liberty Mountain. 1st and 10 from the 20. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Down a bunch. Play action. Scroggins going down the sideline for Ellis. Ellis up and over. What a circus catch. We haven't seen much in the kicking game today, but we have sure seen some acrobatic catches. Shamar Ellis adds to the highlight reel.
Look at this replay. Scroggins putting it up where only Ellis can get it. The defender from Brookville had his back turned. Ellis elevates, catches the ball, secures it when he hits the ground. Excellent play, and that was, Bruce, that was much needed for James Monroe. They needed a boost immediately so that their offense can start to have some confidence, because right now they're down 17. They've got to start coming up with some plays.
35-yard pass play has James Monroe 1st and 10 at the Brookville 45-yard line. At the far hash mark, trips left, one receiver right. Now motion from the left. Inside handoff. Boone trying to get to the corner. That's not happening. There is Anthony Callaway.
And again, the outside is just not working for James Monroe or Brookville for that matter. Team staying at home. You see Boone kicking it out here. Nothing there, about 2 defenders just waiting for him, and you got one behind him making sure he doesn't cut back.
And then there's no door to the outside again. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. 8 minutes left, 4th quarter. Jay Scroggins, play action again. Looking up the middle, dropped the football, fell on it. Was looking deep down the middle for Darrell Dyson. Had Dyson down the middle, had Jamal Bevels down the far near sideline.
And Dyson was wide open, about 7 or 8 yards away from the end zone, but Scroggins just unable to set his feet to be able to get the ball away. That pocket was collapsing right on top of him, and he was having to move up in the pocket, just not able to get that ball out of his hands.
Loss all the way back to the 48-yard line of James Monroe. 3rd and 17 now. Clock becoming a factor. 7:20 left in the ball game. Trips right. That's the near side. And the wide side. Whistles. This delay a game?
Penalty marker down.
Yes, it is. That will back the Yellow Jackets up 5 more. Make it 3rd and 22 now.
And this is James Monroe. I mean, they just had the ball over into Brookville territory, and now you see them back inside their own territory. They're shooting themselves in the foot on a crucial drive.
Cover 2 with 2 safeties, man-to-man on the wides. Down the middle. Oh, my goodness! You cannot make that catch. That is not a catch you can make. Byron Johnson just closed the book on the highlight reel.
My goodness, look at this replay. Scroggins throws it where only he can get it. Look at that catch. That is top 10, top 5 play material right there.
And tack on a personal foul, roughing the passer penalty. Hold the phone. James Monroe's not out of this one yet. Scroggins is a little shaken up, though.
Byron Johnson just showed why you can never count James Monroe out of anything, because look at that athleticism. Can you believe that?
Scroggins is shaken up. Now, he may have to come out of the game for a play unless James Monroe wants to burn a timeout. And they'll send him to the sidelines. Who's going to come in at the quarterback?
Jamal Bevels, it looks like, number 3.
Bevels will take the spot at the quarterback for at least one play now. I'm kind of predicting maybe a handoff to Adrian Boone. Who knows? They go sort of a wildcat look now. It's not Bevels. Reverse. Handoff to Boone. Back the other way. Dyson dancing inside the 5 down to the 1-yard line. Darrell Dyson on the reverse. And the quarterback was Kendall Wilkins on the play.
Hey, Virginia, or world, since we're broadcasting on the internet, do not count James Monroe out. They are 1 yard away from getting a score, a much-needed score. And believe it or not, Bruce, 6.5 minutes to come up with 10 points, that's plenty of time, especially for an offense that can make dynamic plays like that.
Scroggins back onto the field now. Triple backs in the backfield. The deepest back is Tony Scott now in this power I formation. It's Scott twisting towards the goal line. He stopped short. They claim there's a fumble on the play. Does Brookville? I don't know. No indication from any referee.
Looked like he may have been down already.
Down. Make that 3rd down. 3rd and goal from the 1. They went to the power I, gave it to the deep back. Brookville answered the challenge.
Now the question is James Monroe going to have the muscle to deal with that defensive line from Brookville? Because those boys are big. Those are some corn-fed country boys James Monroe's going to have to pound it into right here.
James McFadden, the fullback. Pickett, pitch it left towards the end zone. Stop short again. Tony Scott denied. They tried to go up the middle twice, and then they tried to go wide. It's 4th and 2.
And watch number 24, James Moran, coming up and making the play. Great job there to get in there and stop James Monroe from punching 6 in. And now things get really interesting for James Monroe. You've got to go for a touchdown here. So this could be game decisive.
Ellis wide right, Fortune, or Ellis wide left, Fortune wide right. Tony Scott in the backfield. Looking for Ellis on a square out in the end zone. Incomplete. Overthrown. Brookville Bees hold. Is there a penalty flag in the end zone? Yes, there is.
Looks like it's going to be a pass interference on Anthony Callaway. He ran up under Ellis when he was in the air and took his legs out from under him.
See, the pass interference are holding in the end zone. That makes it 1st and goal now at the 2.
And you see on the replay
the 1. 1st and goal from the 1 because it happened in the end zone. I'm not sure if they call it a hold or pass interference. Doesn't matter.
You saw on the replay there, Ellis's legs up in the air. Rep throws the flag. That's crucial.
Reprieve for the Yellow Jackets. In that I formation, Tony Scott the deep back. Scroggins is going to keep it on the quarterback sneak. He stopped short. By my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays in a row. Brookville defense has stopped James Monroe inside the 3.
And Bruce, they've been inside the 5-yard line here for over 2 minutes. They need to punch this in because precious time is ticking away, Bruce. When they got in there, we were talking about, wow, there's 6.5 minutes left. There's plenty of time. Punch it in and get the clock going. Now you got under 4 minutes.
And the clock is running. James Monroe in no real hurry. They stay in there. Now they bring the workhorse, Adrian Boone, back into the backfield. Scroggins, he's going to roll right and look to throw. Now he'll scramble back left into the end zone. 6. Touchdown, Daryl Dyson.
And
no flags.
Great heads-up play there by Jay Scroggins. Started rolling out of the pocket. He had to turn it back to find a wide-open man, and it was there. You see on the replay, having to run away from the defensive ends, and then he finds number 8, Daryl Dyson. They're waiting wide open for him.
And they line up for the extra point. David Ditt, I believe, is the kicker.
Bruce, you got to wonder, it took them 3 minutes to punch that in when they were that close. So you got to wonder, is that going to really hurt them in the long run?
David Ditta Jr. for the extra point. He's got it. 3:41 left to go, 4th quarter. James Monroe cuts into the lead, but take a lot of time to do so. 10-point lead for Brookville, 24-10. This is championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure. You think? Oh, look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh my, that chin has grad school written all over it.
Fans, purchase a DVD copy of this game online at VHSLnetwork.com. You can enjoy the memories from this special championship production forever. Clear off space on your shelf because I got a feeling you need more than 1 DVDs to finish this series. Go back and get one from last year.
Hey, last year and this year have just been some fun football games. There's really no other way to put it. These two teams are just fun to watch because there's never like a dull moment.
Onside kick time, maybe. James Monroe does have all 3 of their timeouts left. We get a timeout call? I can't find a guy in a white hat. Looks like it.
Probably getting ready for the onside.
Brookville called the timeout. Want to talk about this onside kick. Again, coming up after this game is the Division IV championship game. Briarwood's Falcons looking for their third straight championship game. There's already 4 Division IV championships in a row from Ashburn, Virginia. Briarwood's won the last 2. Broad Run Spartans won the 2 before that.
You know, and if you really think about it, when you include Division V, there's been a state championship in Ashburn every year for the last 5 years, I believe.
When did Stonebridge win? No, Stonebridge won theirs in 07, I think.
So it was 07. Broad Run won in 08 and 09.
10 and 11.
And then this year 12. So 5 years straight, an Ashburn school has been in a state championship and possibly won it. We'll know after tonight.
Stonebridge playing for one right now. See if we can get you a score here in a minute. All right, after the timeout, we'll see. Monroe shows onside, the hands team up front for Brookville. Waiting on the referee's whistle. Here it comes. David Ditt. He's going to pooch it onside towards the sideline. It goes out of bounds at the 45, 46-yard line. So that's where Brookville will take possession with 3:41 left to go. All they want to do is run some clock with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, if you're James Monroe, you have to force a 3-and-out here or force a turnover, because if you allow first down for Brookville, I mean, they're going to be able to chew up the majority of this clock. We've already seen that. The time of possession in the third quarter was almost 9 minutes to 3 minutes. So they know how to manage the clock.
Monroe with all 3 timeouts left. And we see Kendall Beecraft, the senior. He's going to go under center. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff left side. Here comes Hilson Atkins. Atkins, all he wants to do is stay in bounds. He's still on his feet. Looks like a pinball machine inside the 40. Still driving to the 35. Hilson Atkins, inspired.
Boy, like I said, Bruce, I mean, it almost sounds like I'm a broken record, but they don't go down. They keep fighting and getting extra yardage. That's just a testament to one, the competitive nature, but 2, weight training, off-season training.
Atkins is not huge. You said it earlier. He's 5'5", only 150 pounds, but he runs tough. You get the feeling that 140 of those pounds are below his waist. He's so strong. Clock moving. 3 minutes left to go. Brookville taking their time. Beecraft, handoff Watts. Watts is going to come outside. Tripped up in the backfield. Stop made by Steve Bryant. But the clock continues to run. Got 4 on first down, did Watts. 2:45 and counting.
And Brookville obviously in no hurry at all.
Atkins and Watts in the backfield. Derek Fox is back there as well. Kendall Beecraft waiting for the sign from the sideline when to start the play. Brookville running as much clock as they possibly can. Monroe with 3 timeouts. Haven't used them yet. Atkins. Tony Scott's got him back at the 35-yard line. Tony Scott came through clean. Now James Monroe takes a timeout. Bodies flying everywhere. No flags this time.
And Brookville fans are wanting one. You see on the replay a lot of, you see a push there from James Monroe. That's what the Brookville fans are wanting a flag for.
So James Monroe takes their first timeout with 2:10 left to go on it. Fans, today's championship game is being streamed live online at VHSLnetwork.com. You can watch a complete replay of this contest on demand. Visit VHSLnetwork.com for more exciting coverage of Virginia High School League championship events. Also, don't forget the Virginia 529 Savings Plan. Today's game is being brought to you in part by the Virginia 529 Savings Plan. You can learn more about the Virginia 529 Savings Plan by visiting them online at virginia529.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/Virginia or VA 529. I guess when you do Facebook, if it says VA, that's what you got it. Right? You don't want to. You wouldn't work if you spelled the word Virginia out, right?
Apparently not.
What do I know? I just got Tweeter.
Tweeter?
Tweeter, is that what it's called?
Twitter. I'm not even going to comment. I'll just let everybody laugh.
3rd down and 10 after the timeout. 2:10 left on the clock. Beecraft under center. Atkins coming left. Cuts up the middle. Nice hold down at the 30-yard line. Tony Scott with another tackle.
Tony Scott, we've been calling his name a lot here in this fourth quarter. Here's a replay. A great run. A lot of open space for him to work with. And Brookville's runners are just virtually untouched until they get about 7 yards downfield, it seems like.
And we'll bring up 4th down.
And there's another timeout called by James Monroe. With timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. We come back for the final 2 minutes of this one. You're watching the championship action on VHSLnetwork.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Quite possibly 2 minutes left between Brookville and back-to-back state championships. But there's still 2 minutes left on the clock. Atkins trying to bounce right side. He does. Keeps the clock running inside the 30. Clock stopped once again. That was 4th down. So the ball will go over by downs to James Monroe with 1:56 left on the clock. The scoreboard says James Monroe has 2 timeouts left. I believe they only have 1.
Now, James Monroe, I mean, here, this is the last possession was a must score also. Every time they're touching the ball, it's got to be a must score here because there's only 1:56 left. I mean, by the time they score, there could be under a minute left, Bruce, where they'll have to go with an onside kick and come up with it.
Down 10, 24-14, Brookville. James Monroe trailing with the football. Scroggins down the far sideline into double coverage. Penalty flag incomplete. We're going to get a pass interference? There is no such thing in high school as uncatchable. That ball was 15 yards behind the coverage. Let's see what the call is. Waiting on the referee to tell us. Defensive holding. So that will be a 10-yarder. And it'll be marked off to the 38-yard line and a first down for James Monroe.
So there's a nice break for James Monroe, getting a first down at the expense of a Brookville penalty again.
First down, James Monroe.
Jay Scroggins, the sophomore, looking to engineer a miracle comeback. He's in the shotgun, in the spread, 2 receivers. Quarterback draw, Scroggins read out nicely, back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Clock running 1:40. James Monroe not taking time out.
They're just going to keep trying to push this ball downfield. You'd imagine they're going to try to utilize their athleticism at the receiver position and let their guys try to make a play here.
2nd and 10, Scroggins out of the gun, looking left. Tried to set up screen to Dyson, incomplete. Clock stopped 1:19.
Scroggins pass incomplete, intended for number 8, Daryl Dyson. 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10 now from the 38-yard line. Clock definitely a factor, Taylor.
This is a point in time where you've got to get at least one big play here for a big gain because you just don't have the time at your disposal to march down the field and just break down the defense. You just got to go for broke here.
79 ticks. Trips right. Shamar Ellis, wide left. Scroggins again, looking for Ellis. Ellis is open inside the 40, steps out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Clock stopped 1:12 while they move the chains.
And that's impressive by Scroggins to throw that ball. I mean, he threw it on the run, and he's still, not a very experienced quarterback. But look at this, rolling up in the pocket, throws it off of the opposite foot. Great throw there by Scroggins, and again, Ellis coming up with a big catch. James Monroe's got to capitalize on it, though, because like you said, time is not on their side.
Trips right, looking right again. Out in the flat. Complete to Bevels. Bevels gets out of bounds at the 35. That's a 3-yard pickup.
Pass complete to number 9, Marcus Finney. Gain of 3, second down.
2nd and 7 with the clock stopped at 1:06 on the out of bounds.
You've got to go through the air if you're James Monroe. You run the ball, it's just going to take too much time off the clock between the play and then getting set up for your next play.
Trips right or left. Lone receiver Matt Forgin to the right. Scroggins looking left. Square out for Dyson, incomplete. It was a long throw from the near hash mark over to the far sideline.
And Brookville's lucky that Scroggins did not see Ellis behind the defense. He was all by himself inside the 15.
1:02 left to go. Clock stopped on the interception. It's 3rd down and 7 on the field from the 35-yard line. Ball is on the right hash. James Monroe headed to the end zone to the right. Down 10, 24-14. Trips right, Deuces left. Scroggins looking right. Tipped up in the air and then back in the hands of Scroggins, but no gain on the play while the clock continues to run. Now it stops at 54 seconds with James Monroe taking timeout, I believe.
And Jay Scroggins, you would think it would have been better to just let it hit the ground because the clock wouldn't have stopped ticking, or the clock would have stopped.
Second charge timeout.
Scroggins is taking a beating here this afternoon. You can hear the Brookville crowd on the sideline. Stick with us for the postgame show when this one's over. We'll give you the players of the game from both teams today. Take a break and get you set up. Maybe we can even get you a score or two from those other games being played right now. I keep forgetting I got this Twitter thing, and maybe there's something on there. Let's find out. Let's check this thing out. Man, there's a whole bunch of them. Look at this. Final. You want to say it or you want me to say it?
I'll let you say it because I want to be able to say I told you so.
We'll get you the final in the Stonebridge Lake Taylor game here in a little while. Too much excitement going on right now. Keep you on the edge of your seats in both respects. 4th down now and 7. For James Monroe, the immediacy is you got to get a first down at least. Scroggins is going to drop back. Square out for Ellis on the far side is incomplete with 49 seconds left. Change of possession goes to Brookville. Brookville takes over. A couple of kneel downs, you would think, up 10, 24-14. You can start to see it. You can feel the excitement on the Bees sideline and hear it in the bleachers. Brookville, the home team on the scoreboard here today. They're on our side of the field, and we can certainly hear them through we don't have any windows and can still hear them. Get the chain set. Start the offense. What do they call it? Victory formation now for the Brookville Bees. Beecraft takes it in, lets the clock run. 45 and counting. We'll see what time it is when the referee spots the football. Shouldn't be much more than maybe one kneel down. 35 seconds to go. Brookville can run this thing all the way down and take one more knee. Jubilation on the Bees sideline. Clock tipping away with 20 seconds left to go. Brookville, one more knee to the championship. B-Craft takes his knee. Watches the clock kick under 10 minutes as he hangs on to the football, says, "No, Mr. Referee, this one is mine." For the second year in a row, the Brookville Bees are Virginia high school football champions. They even the series at 2-2 in championship games with the James Monroe Yellow Jackets. But the Bees don't care about anything but today, and right now, this moment, they are state champions. Wow. Wow.
What
Taylor,
a game.
That championship was earned. 10-point final, but that was earned.
These two teams don't disappoint ever. Tons of big plays, lots of excitement. We definitely have no shortage of highlights after today's game. I mean, you could put together some of these plays onto a highlight reel, put it on YouTube, and that's instant hits right there.
Brookville, back-to-back state champions. They defeat James Monroe in the rematch. And we said it earlier, now these two teams have played 4 times in the state championship game. It's all even, 2-2. This is the widest margin of any of the 4 games, the only game that's gone more than one score. I want to be here for the rubber match.
Oh, man. And like you said, these two teams would be willing to go and strap it up and everything right over here in the field next to us.
Getting set for the awards presentations and all on the sideline over there. 24-10 our final. They'll present the trophies, a runner-up trophy, and then the championship trophy. And then we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll give you our players of the game. And it'll be time for the Division 5 game here in an hour or so. This is championship action on the VHSLnetwork.com.
Oh, she's college material, that's for sure.
You think?
Oh, look at that nose. 4, maybe 5 years, housing, meal plans, fees. Oh, yeah. That nose says, a bajillion bucks in 18 years.
You get all that from a nose?
She's gonna be expensive.
Be prepared for the tuition monster. Visit Virginia529.com and see why it's the nation's largest 529 college savings plan.
Oh, my. That chin has grad school written all over it.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
Back here at Liberty University, getting set for the post-game award ceremonies as we see the two teams shake hands after this game. You know, we said throughout this game, Taylor, that there's not a lot of love lost between these two teams, and I'm sure there's not when they're playing the game and before the game and all, when the students and everything are on the message boards and the chats back and forth and all that kind of stuff. But you know, even having said that, you know that there's a lot of mutual respect between those two teams. Yeah, these two have separated themselves from the rest of Division III.
Yeah, these two teams definitely have a lot of respect for each other. You see it right here on the field right now. Guys are even kind of making small talk with each other. They are familiar with each other, not just in competition, but off the field as well. They do hold that mutual respect because these two teams are two of the elite programs. And when you're constantly seeing another elite program and you're matching up against each other, you show that respect. And it's just showing a level of sportsmanship that really you don't see all that often in sports today. So, but again, these two teams, I mean, you know, sportsmanship aside and everything, they don't feel disappointed on the field either when they're playing. I mean, these guys can play some football, and now the overall series is tied up 2 apiece.
2 apiece. James Monroe, 4 state championships. Brookville now with 3. So James Monroe with that little 1-game lead still when it comes to championship games. We got to give our players of the game. You know, for James Monroe.
All right, for James Monroe, I honestly, I've got to go with Shamar Ellis. I mean, he made some huge plays in clutch moments. I mean, he made some highlight catches, big gains. He really helped Jay Scroggins out, and that's the other guy. Ellis and Scroggins were the two guys, but I got to give it to Ellis just because he came up with the ball and made the plays under duress.
And I want to say with props with the first touchdown in the game to Adrian Boone. He had a heck of a game here today, did the senior Adrian Boone for James Monroe Yellow Jackets. Some guys stood out on defense for James Monroe, but I think those three are the top of the list.
And then as far as Brookville goes, I mean, there's plenty of guys that you could choose from, to be honest with you. But honestly, I got to go with Anthony Callaway. He's got 123 yards rushing, 1 touchdown, averaging 10.2 yards a carry, Bruce. He put the team on his back, and we were calling his name constantly, and he made that huge running play for their first score, and it was a 50-plus yarder.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's that kind of game when you have championship teams on the field like that, you can go and we can list 2 or 3 players, and other people can say, well, what about so-and-so and so-and-so who had great games? And that is so true. So many people contributed to this win. We have to pick one. Ben Boss Hogg, what about some of the plays he made? What about Kendall Beecraft, the quarterback, and the plays that he made there? Some of the guys on defense, both sides of the ball. I think we saw a couple of sacks, 3-4 sacks against both teams. The defenders making those plays deserve all the credit too. But as always, every year at the end, our hats off and all the respect and the thank yous in the world to the seniors on both of these teams here for all of the excitement that they've given their friends. Taylor and I have had the opportunity to call this championship game last year, and this year we've gotten to know the names, not maybe not the faces on these two teams, but certainly the names on them and familiar with them. And we thank, on behalf of us, on behalf of all of your fans and communities, we thank you guys for all the excitement and the thrills that you've given us in these past 2 years.
Yeah, it's always special to see when you can come back to these games, Bruce, when you've called games here before and seen these two teams, how much guys have matured, and then the new senior class and everything, how they've become leaders. And it's really cool to see a lot of these guys grow as student athletes and as young men out there on the field. So that's always a treat to be able to witness year by year the progression of these guys.
And you get a look at the future, too, of both of these teams. Kendall Beecraft, the senior, is graduating and leaving, but Jay Scroggins, the quarterback for James Monroe, just a sophomore.
Yeah, that's something that, now James Monroe can look at that and see their future, their foundation for the next 2 years in Jay Scroggins. I mean, he's a kid who, due to injuries, comes and is basically forced into a starting role as a sophomore and goes all the way to the state championship. And, they only 10 points away from a win. So, he is a guy that you can build the future around.
So that'll wrap it up here for the first game, the Division III championship game. Division IV game to follow here shortly. Stick around for that as well. Briarwood's Falcons against Heritage of Lynchburg down here. Just about getting set for the awards presentations on the field. So we'll wrap it up in the booth. For my partner, Taylor Jensen, for everybody else on the broadcast crew that helped bring this to you on VHSLnetwork.com, I'm Bruce Bornarth. This has been a thrilling one. Stick around for the next one. Should be equally as exciting and it's thrilling in that next game. Our final score here, the Brookville Bees 24, the James Monroe Yellow Jackets 14. Brookville back-to-back state champions in Division III. How sweet it is.
Number 4, Stephen Bryant. Number 5, Julian Bumbry. Number 6, Byron Johnson. Number 7, Ty Johnson. Number 8, Daryl Dyson. Number 9, Marcus Finney. Number 10, Eric Nelson. Number 12, Rohan Francis. Number 13, Tavon Lucas. Number 14, David Jett. Number 15, Matt Fortune. Number 16, Darrell Barksdale. Number 18, Antonio Edwards. Number 20, James McFadden. Number 21, Tony Scott. Number 22, Jay Scroggins. Number 24, Kevin Brooks. Number 25, Sean Bates. Number 30, Glenn Taylor. Number 32, Adrian Boone. Number 33, DeAndre Sykes. Number 34, Antonio Wynn Coleman. Number 35, Kendrick Wilkins. Number 36, Zach Canova. Number 40, Roy Robinson. Number 42, Nick Weber. Number 44, Deontay Nelson. Number 49, Brad Davis. Number 50, Kyle Washington. Number 54, Derek Cunningham. Number 55, Daniel Thornton. Number 60, Scott Allison. Number 62, Colin Ryder. Number 63, Chris Larimer. Number 64, Dakeem Mott. Number 66, Monteo Lawrence. Number 70, Ian Jeffers. Number 71, Matt Morris. Number 72, Antoine Lewis. Number 74, Tyon Ellis. Number 75, Cody Hedrick. Number 77, Thomas Arce. Number 78, Andrew Lamarca. Number 80, Matt Abel. Number 81, Javon Conway. Number 82, Cordell Boyd. Number 83, Dominique Floyd. Number 84, Luke Browning. Number 88, David Larney. Number 88, Isaac Evans. And number 89, Trajon Boley. Congratulations once again to the runner-up, James Monroe High School, coached by Rich Serby. Congratulations once again to James Monroe High School for an outstanding season, presenting the VHSL Group AA Division III runner-up medals and trophy. VHSL Deputy Director Tom Zamorsky, assisted by James Monroe High School Principal Dr. John B. Gordon III and Athletic Director Rich Serby. And now, introducing your Division III, Region 3 VHSL State Champion, Brookville team. Number 1, Kevin Bryant. Number 2, Derek Fox. Number 3, Benjamin Hogg. Number 4, Stephen Racanelli. Number 5, Kendall Beecraft. Number 6, Jacob Tubb. Number 7, Antonio Gord. Number 8, Wilson Atkins. Number 9, Neil Reynolds. Number 10, Alan Gutierrez. 11, Tyler Burford. Number 12, Brian Maddox. Number 14, Enrique Scott. Number 15, Devin Cook. Number 17, Chance LaPrada. Number 20, Dylan Onufer. Number 21, Jamal Payne. Number 22, Christopher Smith. Number 23, Jeremy Hudson. Number 24, James Moran. Number 25, Andrew Bell. Number 27, Anthony Callaway. Number 20, Joe Napier. Number 30, Jackson Clark. Number 32, Jamie Buchanan. Number 33, Darian Fox. Number 34, Philip Watt. Number 35, Austin Robinson. Number 40, Marcus Goodman. Number 42, R.J. Scott. Number 43, Jessup Hammonds. Number 45, Justin Wetzel. Number 50, Jeffrey Harris. Number 51, Joshua Mason. Number 53, Darius McMillan. Number 54, Joshua Peters. Number 55, Connor Gray. Number 56, Tyler Wilson. Number 57, Xavier Gibson. Number 60, Rayshawn Robb. Number 61, Jeffrey Sherwood. Number 62, Jeffrey Hessen. Number 63, Brandon Smith. Number 66, Brody Taylor. Number 67, Samuel Light. Number 70, Joshua Barker. Number 72, Brandon Oakley. Number 74, Michael Lichtenberger. Number 75, Joshua Powell. Number 77, Devontae Larry. Number 78, Caleb Thompson. Number 80, Brandon Bell. Number 81, Tyler Worley. Number 82, Dimitri Mons. Number 83, Jacob Bice. Number 84, Andrew Creel. Number 86, Christian McMillan. And number 99, Quentin Jordan. Ladies and gentlemen, your state champion Brookville Bees, coached by Coach Willie. Congratulations to Brookville High School for an outstanding season. Presenting the VHSL Group AA Division III Championship medals and trophy, VHSL Deputy Director Tom Zamorsky, assisted by Brookville High School Principal Tom Cole, and Athletic Director Larry Kidd. Today's Group AA Division III Championship game is an athletic showcase for Virginia's talented young people. It is also a showcase for the lessons they have learned about sportsmanship and respect for each other. Please celebrate the talent that brought these students here today and the sportsmanship that honors opponents. The VHSL Group AA Division IV Championship game between Heritage High School and Briarwoods High School will kick off at 4:30 p.m.